Tuesday, man. I gotta go back Monday.
Then
Yeah,
you get
must
that
have
extra,
to
get that extra day.
get that one more day.
All right. And I think we're good now.
Looky there. Yeah,
I think we're good now.
we're good.
Yeah. I don't know if we're quite live, but all right.
Yeah, a little bit off.
Yeah, it worked. It's working.
Slight delay. All right, so here we go. So we are now 3 minutes into the. We did say it was going to be the all over the place episode. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for having me up in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Glad to be here. As again, we come to you live from Frisco, Texas, at the Fuego Tobacco Shop. Tell us, where is this located, Wes, again?
So this is down in Frisco Square. We are literally right across the street from FC Dallas and the U.S. Soccer Hall of Fame.
Nice.
This is prime
Yeah,
real estate right
I
here.
did see that. I passed right by the Star on the way, like an exit down, I think.
Yeah, the Star is just a little bit down. I mean, this is the hotbed of sports here in Dallas.
Awesome. Good deal. So thank you for having me. Episode 22 of the Red, White, and Crew podcast. So we've got a lot to go over today. So I'm joined by half of the crew with both Elias and Wes joining us. But so today, what we're going to go over, so we've got a lot to go over. So latest on Poach, what's the status there? What's the news there? The transfer window, we're going to discuss it from two perspectives, both domestic and international. The U20 World Cup qualifying, we'll look into that. We're going to look, Ramos is going to hit us up with his 2030 way too early predictions, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to kind of go around the world and look at just things that are happening internationally. We got a lot to cover there. And then we'll wrap up with some U.S. men's and U.S. women's national team upcoming friendlies. Obviously, we know a little bit more there on the women's side than on the men's side. So guys, thoughts on Poach, what's going on or what's not going on to this point? What are your thoughts?
I think there's a lot not going on for sure.
Yeah.
But I think, we were talking off camera earlier, and I think you said it best. I think there is a lost in translation in how he said next week.
Weeks. Yeah.
But it's weeks that really what it sounded like, right?
Yeah.
What it could be. So I don't know. We were all thinking last week we were going to hear something. We're still sitting at this week. Here's what I'll say with all of it. And I heard this right before I got here. Heard a guy saying, if you take everyone's problems in the world, take your problems, take my problems, take Ramos's problems, we put them all in a hat, and we tell you, you got to draw and get someone else's problem, or potentially yours again. Would you just take your own problem and just run with it and deal with it?
Yeah.
And when we're looking at the likes of Italy, I'll take our problems.
Yeah.
I'll take ours over what's going on over there.
I think that is the measuring stick right now, Italy. We're going to get into that a lot more later, but good God.
This is a lot.
That's a great example, though. So, I think when it comes to from Poch's perspective, well, actually, let's go to Elias first. What are your thoughts on where we stand with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure there's a lot lost in translation. I think the U.S. media is taking two sentences that are taken out of context in a Spanish interview, translating them, and then trying to extrapolate them into this huge meaning that we really have no idea what's going on. I mean, besides the people in the Federation, besides the people in Poach's camp, I think it's really, really difficult to say where things are actually at. Yeah. And, I would imagine that he is waiting to see what's going to happen with some of these other jobs, what's going to happen with Argentina. So there's a lot of moving parts in it. But like Wes said, I mean, and I've been saying this too. I mean, the way the U.S. lost to Belgium was embarrassing if you're American, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the rest of the world, you're in the top 16 countries in the world. I mean, so yes, I mean, we have higher standards than that, but how long ago was England in that boat? How long ago was Germany at the top, and now they've fallen back to where we're at? Brazil, same thing. You're talking about all these, and so the future is not too far off, and I think Poach I think he sees that. It's just if he was 10 years older, I think he comes back without a doubt.
Yeah.
But he's still, I think, in his managerial prime where he still has enough energy.
How old is he again?
I would say late 40s.
Is he
right?
that young?
Yeah.
Is he really that young?
Maybe early
I
50s.
thought he was maybe early to mid 50s.
But I think he still has a lot of energy, which are what these club jobs kind of demand. And 4 years from now, the club window is probably closed for him. So
I fact checked you. He's 54.
he is 54.
Okay.
So that does add something to it as well. He's at the tail end probably of a club career.
Yeah, I would say club career for sure.
And, at 58, do you have enough energy to go manage Tottenham again? Do you have enough energy to go manage Chelsea again? The answer is probably no. So I think that's what he's also trying to weigh. And I think as much as we would love for him to come back, sometimes you have to put yourself in these managers' shoes and decide, if you were in their position, what would you do? And I don't know. I think he did a lot of good for our game. Yeah. And so I think we need to respect his decision either way.
Yeah. I guess the question becomes if it's now maybe mid-August, end of August, and you still don't have an answer, right? What are you gonna who would coach the upcoming friendlies, right? That 4-game stint.
Do you think that's why they haven't fully announced those 4-game stints? Like, it's been hinted. We kind of know who we're gonna play.
I would imagine that or just the logistics of just hammering down.
Like what stadium?
Right.
We know we got Mexico and Phoenix.
Yeah. That's October 3rd.
Yeah.
That's the only one that's been officially announced, and that hasn't been announced by the U.S.
No, it was announced by Mexico.
Mexico, right? So I guess that's one factor, but then the other factor is just from his perspective, right? Is how much time does he need? What does he hold? Because you look at it club-wise, there's nothing out there, right?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Not at this point. Yeah.
Nothing at his level in terms of what. So my thought process was, okay, is he going to maybe consider just? I talked about it, right? The 6-month sabbatical, the semi-sabbatical, like Pep, knowing that come February, March, something is going to probably either already have opened up, someone get fired, or if not, you're going to be just playing the waiting game. Right?
Somebody's for sure getting fired.
Yeah. So, but then does that line up with where he wants to go? Because obviously he wants to return to club, he wants to return to Europe, but if it's not the right opening, right?
Yeah.
The right fit. So that's I look at it from his perspective. That's what I'm kind of wondering. But beyond that, then I'm just kind of thinking it's like you don't have if you're U.S., you don't have a technical director, right? You have the CEO, right? JT Batson. He's the one really kind of calling the shots. So we don't really know in terms of the president, Cindy Parlow-Cone, where she is with things. You don't have a technical director. You've just named your Olympic team coach, right, in Steve Cherundolo. So I don't know. The worst case, do they default to Cherundolo to coach?
And just go coach the friendlies until we know?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think, I felt about maybe a week ago, I felt like it was 70-30. He's coming back. Now I think it's just a straight up 50-50.
I think the longer it goes, the more doubt it casts for sure.
Right. Yeah. Or is it just financial?
Could be hammering out how much.
I'm sure there's details being talked right now about he probably wants control over certain things. Maybe the U.S. Federation is reluctant to hand over some of that control. There's all the talks about overhauling the youth system. So I think all of those are factors. I don't know necessarily that having a full-time coach in place for these friendlies it's important, but I don't think it's urgent.
No.
Because you're so far away. The reality is you're probably picking a roster that's similar to what you took to the World Cup, minus maybe Tim Ream, minus maybe a couple of, the older players that for sure won't be in the next cycle. But the reality is that your roster is really, really not going to start taking shape until about 2 years from now, I think.
Yeah.
Because 4 years is a lifetime in professional sports. I would imagine you go with Cherundolo, and maybe you bring your under 23s, and maybe it is an Olympic. These friendlies are more of an Olympic qualifier type, where we're starting to put together, a couple overage players, but mostly younger players. So, I don't know necessarily think that even August. I mean, I don't know that there's a super hard deadline. Now, you can't let it drag into next year for sure, right?
No,
But
Excuse me.
I think November, September, October is probably for sure when you need a decision on who you're going to go with. But we know how these things go. I mean,
Right.
you know, you could hire someone and fire them in a year.
I was trying to think back to when he was actually hired, how long that took. Do you remember? Like when his name surfaced to when it was strongly being considered to when he was offered to when he took the job. Because that seemed to go relatively quick because of how late we were in the cycle.
Yeah, I feel like that was very fast. I remember not hearing like a whole bunch of rumors of this could be a possibility. I heard it was, oh, he's our manager. Here's what we're rolling
Was
with.
it? I mean, he took the job with what 18 months to the World Cup, maybe a year and a half.
Something like yeah.
So I think they
was less than
can
two.
They can Berhalter after the Copa America, right?
Yes. Which was needed.
and we were still in limbo there for a little bit.
Yes, and then there was about 3 or 4 months, I think. So, yeah, I mean, I think that these appointments take about half a year, I would think.
Yeah.
And then if you don't get him, what is out there? Is that someone you're willing to commit 4 years to if you're the U.S.? If you're really trying to go for, you know, we want to take the next step. We want to be a quarterfinal team. We want to be a semifinal team. Is there a coach out there right now that you really, truly believe is the man to take you to that spot? And I don't think the answer is yes to that. So I don't know that there's necessarily any harm in even a full year, as much as we wouldn't want it. You get to the next summer, you get to April, May, people's contracts are running up, people are being, let go from their clubs. I think that's maybe the time really at this point where you're going to see the major moves. And I do think we're coming off of the World Cup and everyone's so hungry for more right now, right?
Yeah.
We want more, we want more, we want more. We want the U.S. to play again tomorrow, right? We want another World Cup game tomorrow. And that's just not the reality. And that's what makes it special, right, is how rare it is.
How rare it is, yeah.
So I think that the U.S. would be wise to take their time and let it play out how it needs to play
I
out.
think too, but the other thing we're looking at is you're looking at 4 friendlies, which is really an extended international break. We don't normally see these international breaks go 4 games. It's usually just 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Teams come together for maybe a week or 2, that's it, and then play. This one is what, 3 weeks long?
It's a 19-day window.
So odd. Is it because of the Nations League in Europe?
I think so.
It's
of
gotta
that
be because of
coming
that.
out of the World Cup cycle and everything that they gotta basically get in, because all clubs everywhere. I mean, it's a full FIFA window.
Yeah.
So it's 19 days. So
Yeah, so I mean I think for us that's a momentum builder. Like take what we've done in the World Cup, all the success that we had, throw out the Belgium game. We want to see us play very well, and especially when we're playing Mexico in one of those games.
So we know. And that's the other thing. It's still kind of strongly rumored as to who we're going to play. Right?
Yeah.
Like we don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure.
And logic would tell us that it's probably going to be that same rotation that Mexico's playing.
Yes.
Which consists of what? Who
Peru.
was it? Chile, Peru. Was it
Peru,
Chile?
Colombia, and there was one more. And now I can't remember.
What are Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay going to do in this window now? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Spain, Morocco, Portugal. You have 6 countries that have automatic qualification now,
Right.
Which creates a lot more opportunities for friendlies because they're not playing in now I guess they would be playing Nations League.
Well,
the
so from
European
the-
countries would be.
From the CONMEBOL perspective, does that mean, do they still get their 6 plus those 3? Because that's basically leaving one nation out.
That's one nation that
That's one.
comes out. But I think that also goes back to, are we going to 64?
Right.
And that could be another reason why we go to 64.
Yeah.
You've got 6 that are going to qualify automatically.
Yeah. 64 though, I mean, you're basically qualifying all of CONMEBOL
Yeah.
at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
at that point,
Yeah.
that's what we've talked about, why the merger with CONCACAF and CONMEBOL looks so appealing.
If you stay at 64.
If you
If we
stay
went
at
back to
64.
32,
No.
you don't want that if you're
No,
the
you don't
U.S.
want
or
that if you're
Mexico.
the US.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It's a good chance that not one of them would.
yeah.
It would all be
Well,
CONMEBOL.
And that's going to be something that we'll dive into much later that I'm looking forward to us discussing is actual qualifying again. Having
Yes.
to go through World Cup qualifying.
Yeah.
Which will look different, obviously, now with even at 48 teams and what CONCACAF is allotted, but still very much a work in progress. But I thought about something. We go back to Poach. I feel we're kind of, if he doesn't come back, I feel like we are stuck. We're in a rock and a hard place between, hey, we feel like we have to follow it up with another big name, high pedigree, sexy name. We're stuck between that and, okay, maybe there's a legitimate coach who's qualified but doesn't come with a big name that we have to maybe try to give an opportunity to, right? So, because here's the thing, right? You think about what were the 3 big international coaches that just led different countries in this World Cup? You had Ancelotti, you had Tuchel, and
Nagelsmann.
Nagelsmann led his
Germany.
Germany. No, who am I forgetting?
Are you talking about that
Talking
they
about
were?
Roberto Martinez. Then.
No, well, him. No, that were first time with their clubs.
Oh, first time.
Besides Nagelsmann. So you had Ancelotti, you had Tuchel, and you had, who am I forgetting? You had one more, but none of them went, I'm forgetting who it is, but none of them went any further than they had previously gone with their nation.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes even my point is that maybe even the big name doesn't guarantee
the best name.
Doesn't
Yeah.
guarantee that quarterfinal, that semifinal run. So I don't know. It's
Yeah, then you go back to this nobody's ever won it who has had a foreign manager either.
yeah.
So I've heard a lot of people that are like, well, we got to get somebody from the U.S. And I keep looking at everybody. I don't know if we have somebody who's qualified just yet.
So,
Is it the Rayo Vallecano coach? Is he the American, or who is?
No,
the
it's
Spanish?
Real Sociedad, isn't it?
Sociedad.
Sociedad. It's oh
And
my God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Every
Sociedad is a very
Pellegrino
interesting
or
club.
something
time.
like
Matarazzo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Pellegrino Matarazzo.
they don't even have an academy until I think 12 or 13.
Sociedad. You're talking
Sociedad.
about? Yeah.
They make their kids play in the schools. There's a really interesting article about their academy. Griezmann came out of that academy, but they, so that's an interesting kind of place for a coach to come from, and I do think that there is something to be said for a coach that understands the culture, understands how to connect to the players, because we saw it, right? Tuchel lost the locker room a little bit, maybe didn't understand, right? He seemed surprised after that Argentina game. He seemed surprised at how his players reacted. I don't know that a true English coach would have been surprised at that. I think they would have been more prepared for that moment. Now, does a true English coach get them to that moment is the question, right? But to win it, I think you have to understand the culture and the players that are in front of you. That's why De La Fuente was so good. That's why Scaloni was so good. And Scaloni, we saw, he was on an interim basis for 6 months?
Yeah.
And I think actually they were about to fire him.
And he was that unknown, right?
Yes.
And he's the one that came out, got him a World Cup time.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps when you have Messi, of course. But
Yeah.
still, I mean, but yeah, it's so the interesting piece is if he does take the gig, right? If he does come back, my gut tells me it's maybe a year and a half to 2 year window, maybe through Copa. I don't see him going a full 4 year cycle.
No, I don't either.
So that begs the question then is like, if that did happen, right? He's obviously a lot of hypotheticals, but he would be, then we're right back to square one as we're right in the thick of it with World Cup qualifying. Obviously also depends on how we do in Copa America, assuming we're hosting it, which is strongly rumored. I don't know when they'll announce that, but
Surely soon.
Yeah.
You would think.
You got to
a lot
start.
of details you got to hammer out for that.
yeah. So that's kind of the thing. If he does come back, I don't think it's for 4 years. And if he does leave early, does that buy enough time to where maybe you have Pep kind of there waiting in the? That's my thought process, right?
Yeah.
So make him have to tell you no, or does the question, does it happen to where Pep takes another gig, after a sabbatical?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Pep, where is he going to go now? He's not going to coach in Germany again.
No.
He's not going to coach in England again.
Italy will probably be open again.
Italy will probably be open.
Italy gets opened every other day. So
He won't coach in Spain, and I don't know that he'll ever go back to Barcelona. He's said many times that he won't go back because he doesn't think that he can improve upon what he did the first time.
Yeah.
Which is a fair, right? I mean, that was the best team probably of all time. And so that leaves a team in Italy. That leaves a national team. So, where are you going from there?
I mean, it just makes sense to be a national team, but I think it's got to be the right one.
Yes.
And it's got to be a country that would accept the way he does things too.
And he's a complete control freak.
He is.
Right.
He is.
And that's the thing on the international side, that's the thing where I kind of wonder where maybe he would return, but not in the role that we expect him to. Maybe more as a technical director, right?
Yeah.
Overseeing big picture stuff.
Okay, I'd love him as our technical director. We have a spot open for that right now, so that would be great.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So something that can affect even on a bigger scale, right? So, which I think would be perfect for him. But I don't know. That's just a thought process. So, all right. So, a couple of things. So we're going to transition here. So, transfer window. It has been chaotic. You just dropped a crazy stat on us right before we went live about the Premier League. Share that with us.
So the Premier League has spent 1.4 billion pounds or euros, I believe. I don't remember if it was pounds or euros.
Yeah.
More than dollars for sure. And the other, Italy, France, and Spain, they've outspent those three leagues combined by $300 million.
We're not even done yet.
We're not even done.
I mean, we're a month away from that window closing.
And so it's I believe I saw something that it's 500 million net spend.
Wow.
So because you take out like Elliot Anderson going to Manchester City from where was he at? Why can't I think of it right now? Was he at Newcastle?
Was he the?
I thought it was Aston.
It was Aston Villa.
Yeah, Aston
yes.
Villa. Aston Villa.
Yes. So Morgan Rogers going to Chelsea. Also from I think he was from where did he come from? From Villa as well.
Yeah.
Was
Villa
he-
had a couple that left.
Okay.
And so they're spending a lot of money right now.
Right.
So it's crazy. It's a wild market out there at the moment.
So if Chelsea's number one, who is behind them? Did you see that? I'm kind of curious. Who's?
Chelsea is number one. You have Spurs actually have spent the most. They've spent $230 million.
Well, they've spent more than Chelsea.
They've bought Sandro Tonali, Fernandez, and Van Hecke. So and they're in the running for Savinho from Manchester City.
Wow.
So they are giving the keys to De Zerbi to kind of build the team in his image. So he kind of doesn't have any excuses now. Christian Romero is rumored to be on the transfer list. He may be going to Inter Milan.
Yeah.
So maybe they get some money back from there because I think his stock just continued to rise during the World Cup. I thought he had a great World Cup next to Lisandro Martinez. But yeah, surprisingly, Tottenham was. I think they're saying we're not going to be in a relegation battle again next year. Is kind of their idea.
Yeah. Well, speaking of transfers, you say probably no one's stock skyrocketed more than my guy from the Ivory Coast, Jan Diomande, right? So, I mean, I'm a little nervous to throw that much money at a guy who's still very, very much a big talent, but still very much raw.
Are we sure he's that old?
So
I think he is.
We talked about that.
I think he is.
yeah.
That is a very un-Real Madrid move right now, spending $100 million on maybe not necessarily an unknown quantity, but Leverkusen to Madrid are two completely different.
3 years ago, he was playing high school soccer in Florida.
Yes, he was playing USL soccer.
Well, USL
In
and
the
high
summer.
School. In the summer, he went. Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely insane.
He went from winning $1,000 for being the Golden Boot leader of the league to making $100 million.
So $100 million, yeah, and
So there was at least one. I think it might have been two MLS clubs looked at him and passed on him.
Charlotte was one of them. I know that.
Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlotte was one
Wow.
that said no. Can we go? Yeah, go fire that guy.
So how are you feeling about that right now, Charlotte FC?
I was.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Who do we have evaluating talent? That's what I'm.
So, and I don't think they're done. Real Madrid, they're
No.
probably, obviously they're making the push for Rodri. So PSG got their feelings hurt, so they're trying to force Real Madrid to have to spend more with Rodri. So it's clear as day that Rodri wants to go to Real. So I think it's going to happen. It's just a matter of, and they've already agreed on terms, them directly. So it's just a matter of making it work with Man City.
Yeah, I don't know that Man City. They almost, I would imagine, are like PSG, where you can have them for free, but we're not letting them go. They have that kind of money where they,
Right.
Yeah.
they 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. That's 2 days in
what?
the oil fields for us.
They already spent 175 million,
Yeah.
and 135 of that was on Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Elliot Anderson played well,
But
I don't think
he's not a Rodri
135
replacement.
yeah, $135 million player.
But that's the Premier League inflation, right? I
True.
mean, those
Yeah.
players move for just exorbitant sums. That's why you see Gordon only went for 80 to Barcelona, because they understand that they could have sold him to Man City for 130, but they were never going to get that from Barca,
Right.
just
Yeah.
because the financials are different across the league. So I think you have to take into account which club is selling and which club is buying, and then adjust your kind of expectations on transfer sums there.
Well, not only inflation, but I just feel sometimes we look at it like kind of like college football, right? Like the 5-star, like when a recruit commits to a Notre Dame or a Texas, maybe all of a sudden they get inflated with 5 stars when maybe they're not really 5 stars, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we see some of that with the Premier League too. So I don't know, interesting. So what's been the biggest surprise for you transfer window up to now?
I think there has not been any number 9s being sold or bought. I think that kind of goes to show that is a position that people don't want to let go of very easily. You used to see Luis Suarez move, Eto'o move, Cristiano Ronaldo would move. You saw all these big time true number 9s, and there seems to be a really lack of elite goal scorers on the market, which is crazy then when you combine that with players like Elliot Anderson moving for 140 million, players like Morgan Rogers moving for 120, Anthony Gordon moving for 80. These are good players, but they are not Golden Boot winners selling for these huge sums. So yeah, I mean, it's Newcastle also seems to be getting gutted right now. They've sold a lot of players. They seem to be kind of betting on the youth side of it, like let's buy cheap, sell high. But it's a very interesting transfer window where and like Real, it's not waiting for players' contracts to run out to get them. So that's an interesting tactic as well. So
Yeah. So we've discussed obviously heavy on the European side, but take us through, Wes, a little bit, maybe domestic, MLS, USL. What's kind of gotten you by surprise so far, and what are you anticipating before the end of the transfer window?
Well, we saw a lot of movement early with the older stars coming to the MLS. Like they're talking about it being a retirement league, which I think it's a good destination for some of those players. Obviously, Messi has done so well coming here and playing well. It doesn't always translate like that. Where some of them come over and play well. It's definitely a different league. But we saw Lewandowski join Chicago. He's played a couple games so far. I mean, I don't know if he's still capable of dominating like Messi does at times.
Isn't he the exact same age? Isn't he 39 also?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Right.
he just needs service.
Yes.
And I don't know that
are you
he's
gonna
going to get the
that in Chicago?
quality of service that he got at
Well,
Barcelona.
he's definitely not used to it yet.
Yeah.
Not that. But you see Griezmann joining Orlando City, which he's played a couple games. I watched him play in a friendly. Elias, we got to watch him. He looks good. He looks like he's going to come in. His first game, he got a goal and won the match ball too. So he did really well. You also have Casemiro that joined Inter Miami. But what's really interesting in that is LA Galaxy are filed a complaint already about Discovery. Which, what do you mean Discovery?
Discovery.
Like we found, you found him. Yeah.
I think it's time to change the verbiage on that.
I think it needs to be. So, who knows? Casemiro, I saw him play the other day. Obviously, Messi's not back with him yet. Like, he's not going to join them until, I'm sure they're giving him a month or two off, especially get through Leagues Cup, which is coming up after the All-Star break, which the All-Star game's tomorrow night. So you'll see some more movement. There's definitely clubs that have made a big push were Columbus. Columbus completely reshaped its team. They got Mendez from Real Sociedad. He's their designated player. Giacone from Argentina Juniors. He's got a loan purchase. Eric Bailly, which is a center back option for them. Brooks Lennon, former. He's somewhat U.S. national team. Kind of played some.
Right.
But he's a proven MLS wingback.
Eric Bailly, he's Ivory Coast, right?
Yeah, that's the other center
didn't he
back.
play for Manchester United? For a
United.
little bit?
He was at United for a little bit as a center back.
Well, he was on their roster. Did he actually play though?
Yeah, he played.
He was kind of a bust there, though.
He didn't play great.
Everyone thought he was going to be like the next big thing, and then he kind of.
I was trying to think if he ever. I don't ever remember him starting. I always remember him.
No, he played some games. I mean, I remember the name. Remember seeing him play quite a bit, but I mean, to get him in the MLS as a center back, it's not bad. And then you've got Andres Herrera, who's on permanent loan now.
Right.
They permanently acquired him after his loan. So a lot of players coming in there at Columbus. Diego Rossi leaving them to go to Monterrey was a big one. But other teams, New England, they build around Turner, Matt Turner, and Jack Harrison. Jack Harrison coming in from Leeds United.
Yeah.
Will Luna end up transferring out?
Man, the way he's being treated right now in the MLS is, I feel like he should.
Yeah.
I think his ceiling, we've talked about this before, I think Luna's ceiling, he's met it at Real Salt Lake, and he needs a different challenge to kind of take his game to the next level. I don't like the way he was treated in Portland, and the fans were kind of calling him a U.S. reject. I'm like, guys, what are you talking about?
Monterrey wanted him, but I guess Salt Lake wants more money.
Salt Lake wants more
What
money.
about Chicharito Hernandez coming to Atletico
Atletico
Dallas?
Dallas. That's the other USL signing.
Yeah,
was
who is
kinda
that guy?
crazy.
Never heard of that guy.
I've never heard of him either. It's funny. He hinted at there was something that was maybe playing, and I think there were a lot of rumors like, oh, he's going back to where his father finished off his career to, I don't know what club it was in Liga MX, but there was talk about that. And then Atletico Dallas dropped just a bonfire with the date, and it was Sunday night, and we were all like, oh, cool. Like, I saw a tweet from Third Degree, who kind of covers Dallas soccer, FC Dallas and everything. They were like, well, I guess something's happening tomorrow. We have no idea what it is, but yeah, so be on the lookout. And then in the morning it dropped.
Boom. Yeah.
Chicharito signs, 38-year-old as.
I mean, in the Dallas market, that's going to get people to go watch them alone.
Oh, 100%. Well, they don't even have a stadium to play in yet.
They're playing in the Cotton Bowl.
The Cotton Bowl now. I mean, yeah, but they were supposed to be in Garland. It was like a final piece home.
So them and Trinity are playing in the Cotton Bowl.
In the Cotton Bowl, yeah.
They've taken over MoneyGram.
Oh, yeah, they have taken over MoneyGram.
Atletico Dallas. My men's league is shout out to Dallas Soccer Alliance.
Yeah, you play out there at MoneyGram too?
They're not happy that we don't get to play out there.
Oh, you don't get to play out there because they took it over?
Because they took it over, but
that's funny. The other movement, it's kind of been talked about that Berhalter, there is an agreement that has reached. It hasn't finalized yet, but there is talk of him going to Middlesbrough.
it's a championship side, right?
Championship side.
I think that's already in the works.
It's already in the works. They've
just not finalized.
They have an agreement, but it's not finished yet. So I don't know what they're waiting on.
Because he didn't suit up last game, right?
No, yeah, he didn't play last game.
match.
So you would think there's a lot of movement. I mean, personally, FC Dallas is one of those teams that obviously we're right across the street from them right now. I follow them quite a bit. We really thought that Musa is going to be on the move, especially after scoring against England in the World Cup. I do like that we need to get you in a Barca kit.
Yeah. Shout out to Harry Austin joining us. Harry, how are you, brother? He did say send help for Newcastle, and the response to a kid from Barca is, I can always use another wash rag for the truck. Size doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, great. I guess that's the interesting piece, right? And because this is really the last time you'll see MLS in this wishy-washy, not truly lining up with the transfer market,
right?
Because
they're still finishing off their season. Right. So this season will end in November, kind of push into December a little bit.
Yeah.
They will kick up again and do a mini run, like a mini season from February to May.
Is it? Oh, May.
It is May.
I saw April. Okay.
So they'll get into May. I think is when they play like the quote unquote.
Because they're still going to play the playoffs.
They're going to do the playoffs. They're going to have a winner. and then they'll be off for the summer, and then they'll pick back up, and it'll be the same window same season as all the European teams.
And that's a 2-month. I saw that. That's a 2-month layoff, December 15th to February 15th.
Yeah, it's not long
Once
you get back going again. So.
So
I don't know. There's a lot of big things. I think the biggest news we saw, and it was kind of crazy because this kid is 15 years old, but Benji Flowers. That's with he's with North Texas SC. He played last night 45 minutes. I didn't get to watch the game because we have our TST tournament going on, but he played in the MLS Next All-Star game. He played in the last 45 minutes. So I'm interested to see what happened last night with how he played. Because here's the deal. He has not started a ton of games at North Texas SC. So FC Dallas went ahead and signed him to a homegrown contract, meaning that he can play. He's eligible to play now any of the games for FC Dallas. The signing was $3 million to Chelsea. That's the initial. There are add-ons and incentives that build it all the way up to $10 million.
So who owns the rights then? Is it Chelsea or is it Dallas?
So Dallas has it. Okay. But the minute he turns 18, Chelsea has it. So because of our laws that we have here.
Okay.
But all the incentives is if he plays MLS minutes, the dollar sign goes up.
So it's not like Kevin Sullivan where Man City owns the rights, but he doesn't ship over there until he turns 18. It's not like that.
I mean, it's kind of a similar deal, but no, Dallas in all aspects
I think
now.
that's different because Man City owns New York FC.
But he's with Philly.
Yeah, but he's with Philly.
He's with the Union.
Oh, he's with Philly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kept thinking the same thing. That's why.
Yeah, no. So, yeah, I don't know how that. I mean, we've talked about that. There's so many different laws.
I know.
There's good reasons why they have
Still
them.
trying to understand it.
But we still got to understand them. But this one, he's signed now with Dallas. Dallas will get a lot more money if he plays more games for FC Dallas. So at what point does the front office be like, hey, I know he's clearly not ready to play at the MLS level, but we need to put him in games.
Incentivize.
Yeah, we got to put him in games, so we got to see him play.
Right.
Which, Dallas, for all intents and purposes, they haven't been the team that's going to go win the MLS Cup this year. A little bit better. Top 4, top 5 right now in the West. Petar Musa is the Golden Boot leader because the other one was with Chicago, but they sold him off. The Golden Boot leader was Chicago's forward that they got rid of to bring in Lewandowski. So now they're still tied, but Petar Musa has more goals than Messi does in the MLS. You're in a battle right now to make the playoffs.
So is Musa your scoring leader right now? Is he
Yeah,
a scoring
Luke's
leader?
scoring leader. He's got 13 goals in the MLS. So Messi has 12. And obviously now he came back and he played a game already against Portland, scored the other night. He didn't score against San Diego on Saturday. But they play again this Saturday against LA, and I would imagine Galaxy is going to score a goal against them too. He's just on a tear right now.
Right.
So it's not like you've got a team that has no chance to make the playoffs, and they're not going to push to win a trophy. So why not just throw them in, let them get time? Like we're a team that is got a chance, an outside chance for sure. So
Well, and you have 3 years to play him.
you have 3 years to get him going right. So what I have noticed is
And where are they playing him?
they're playing him at North Texas SC.
No, I mean position.
Position-wise, he's a winger. So he played at winger.
No, but I'm saying, are they kind of utilizing him on both sides, or are they keeping him on one side?
No, it's really just on that left side that I've seen him.
Okay.
Because he hasn't started a whole lot of games for North Texas SC either. They started the other night, was his first game, and didn't do much. They lost to LAFC 2. So there wasn't much of him that game. This has all just been a lot of hype around him.
Right.
Like, he hasn't shown anything big playing with the big boys yet. He has at the youth levels, and he has it when he's played for the U.S. team.
So
the
I wonder
thing is he's also,
convinced
he could
Chelsea.
be Mexico.
Crazy stuff.
What convinced Chelsea to spend this kind of money on him?
But this is something they do a lot, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And we were
Well,
talking
with
a lot of
Chelsea,
teams.
Chelsea's clearly playing. Their scheme is a numbers game.
Yeah.
But it still begs the question, though. It's like, hey, if they're willing to throw some money at this American kid who's 15, like, what did they see that they liked?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, or is it just kind of putting in trust that it's the proven developmental system here, at least out of MLS, that is FC Dallas? You know? So maybe it's kind of that.
And you've got all those guys that have done well in the FC Dallas Academy, because you've got Chris Richards, who came up through the academy, never played a game for FC Dallas, but moved over early.
Right.
You've got Weston McKinney, and I think this is why you're seeing like the FC Dallas and other MLS teams to make those deals early, because if you sit around and wait till they turn 18, then they leave for free, which is what Weston McKennie did.
Right.
He said, I'm not going to sign, I'm not going to play up there, I'm just going to wait, and then he goes to Schalke. So I think you've got these MLS clubs that are like, well, let's get these guys minutes now so that we own the rights so we can make some money off of them when they go. But there has been, Zendejas is a FC Dallas kid. Pepe is an FC Dallas kid. So you've got all these players that have come out of this developmental squad, which is what a lot of people call them. They're not a team that's built to go win championships. There's a team to develop talent.
You're seeing this a lot on the women's side too. I know.
Yeah.
We had a girl that, and I don't know exactly how it works, but she participated in the last 2 training camps for the Houston Dash as a sophomore and a junior. And I would imagine it was so that they own her rights when she decides to turn professional. And they did that with several DFW kids, 16, 17,
well,
18
and who's
year old
the goalkeeper from Trinity that just left and went to Barcelona? Right?
That's crazy too. And
What was her name? Did you get it? What's
I sent it to y'all. I didn't look too closely.
Yeah.
There was talks about how she's going to be competing for the number 1 job. You're not displacing Catacol. She's the Barca number 1. She's the Spain number 1, and she's like 25 years old. So, you're not displacing her. But still, to go from 2nd division in the U.S. to Barcelona Femení, the premier club in women's soccer,
big jump.
Is really impressive. Her name is Tyler McCamey, and she is from. Let's see. She grew up and she played for Princeton, but I don't have her hometown.
Okay. No,
she grew up in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
Atlanta's a good spot for that. Girls soccer too.
Some interesting news here while we're talking about MLS. So this came out probably about almost 2 hours ago. Tom Bogert. So sources, MLS owners expected to hear a presentation on significant changes to structure of roster rules centered around a more open salary cap system. A potential huge change for the future of MLS, while DPs would remain. So
it's interesting, because you talk about like the way that it's structured right now. I think there's a big issue because you've got teams like Miami that can splash and make money, spend money like crazy, where everybody else is like, well, how do you do that? Like, the DPs, I think they extended to like, you can have 4 DPs if you want, or you can sign under 22. There was a big initiative, an under 22 initiative to sign younger players. So we're not this destination retirement league at the end of it. We're trying to get younger players. You know what's really shocked me over the last couple of days is seeing that a lot of these USL teams are sending players to Europe.
Yeah.
So Ramiz Hamuda from Birmingham Legion just signed. He's an American youth defender. Just signed with Werder Bremen in Germany. So you're talking a kid that never played any minutes in the MLS who's now just playing USL, which I think opens up a lot for USLs, for other clubs to start coming and looking at their players.
Yeah.
So we talked about it again. Diamande was playing USL not too long ago. And they got Tampa Bay just transferred Endri Mustali to Ireland, to the Bray Wanderers. So, and don't forget, USL is going promotion relegation. Right. So it's going to be a whole different element of the way they do things and how they structure things. And the MLS is going to have to keep up.
At what point does MLS at this point they have to loosen the reins, you know what I mean? They're an established league, right? It's not like because the original reason why as a single entity why they implemented this was to avoid all the pitfalls of all the previous iterations, right, of different leagues and the NASL. So, I mean, here we are 30 plus years later, like whether significantly loosen them or just take them off completely, right?
Yeah,
and you're in a closed system where you're the quote unquote top of the pyramid. I think it's way over the MLS.
It is, and I think you got the whole problem with money. Like, these club owners like their money and they want to keep it. So if we talk about going to promotion relegation,
No. I'm not saying even the first step. I think before we see Pro Rel finally hit that level, I'm just saying is like all the funky, funny
Yeah, why
money
roster
spending.
I mean,
issues.
why not go to like a La Liga model? I mean,
Right,
you know,
right.
there's a
Sure.
lot of talk about how La Liga is you know, hamstringing Real and Barcelona and what they're able to do, but they have created a sustainable model out there,
Correct.
and you know, you don't see the clubs going bankrupt. They have to be really smart about developing talent. They have to be
They're
really smart
incentivized to develop their-
talent.
yeah, to develop.
But they're also allowed to buy players, you
Right.
know, and they can buy as many players as what they bring in. So I think that is a model that the U.S. could, you know, that the MLS, where
Right.
it's conservative, but it also allows for, you know, you have teams like Real Sociedad, you have teams like Rayo Vallecano,
Right.
Real Betis, you know, teams that go and compete at the Europa level league, at the conference level league, with a third of the resources, a fourth of the resources.
Yeah.
Well, clearly Spain is doing something right.
Yes.
Well, it just baffles me because in this country we seem to look at the 5 big leagues. We seem to look at Europe
Yeah.
for how to do everything,
Sure.
except for promotion, relegation, except for spending money. Right.
Yeah.
Those two things, ironically, right.
And-
that part was like, yeah, you can kind of keep that to yourself.
And at what point, you know, what's it going to take for the USL? You know, you got to look at historical precedent in the United States, right? The only really comparison I can look at is the AFL NFL merger,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You know, at what point does the USL? How many Chicharito Hernandezes is it going to take to get them in? If you had Jan, you know, Dimonde, you know, if you had sold him straight from his USL club for $40 million.
Right.
And now you have a club. Now you have a USL team with $40 million in transfer fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
that'd
mean-
be a lot.
I mean that's
crazy
more than
amount.
probably most MLS teams
'Cause
bring
didn't-
in.
Yeah, we're not even talking about that. That doesn't even include solidarity, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there was a sell-on clause with him too. That now his original club.
Yeah, it's
before he was at
It's a Spanish
Spanish
team.
club, right? Yemes or something like that.
Alaves, Getafe.
Yeah, that one I don't. That
I
one
can't remember, but I know that before he went to Germany, like they had a sell-on clause. So
Yeah.
I think they're pocketing like $40 million out of that deal.
Well, they sold him for 20,
yeah.
and then they had a 20% sell-on clause. So they just got another 20.
Another $20 million. So,
So-
you've gotten $40 million for him.
Leganes.
Leganes. Yeah.
Leganes.
Oh,
And they are in the Segunda division.
I was gonna say I know they're not in the.
So that they've been up in La Liga
Right, right.
before, but
Currently,
they've
yeah.
fallen. But you're talking about a second division team just got 20 million out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, right? I mean, they didn't. Their roster did not get any weaker from last
Right.
year to this year, and they just got 20 million euros.
Yeah, it's like finding $20 in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Hey,
finding
look what I found.
$20 in every single pair of pants you've ever owned in your entire life.
Yeah.
And
Entire
in the laundry, in the washer, and the dryer.
Yes.
Just money's falling
And
from
yes,
everywhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So the transfer market remains. I think it's going to be hot. It's going to be lively.
Well, I've got two more for you. You ready for
Oh,
this?
yeah, go ahead.
There's two more.
What do you got?
Christian Pulisic to NYCFC. It's been a big push. That's
You think
been
so?
coming
You think it happens?
I don't think it happens. I think it's very low for this summer, but that's been the team that's been the biggest about talking about bringing him.
Now Milan still hasn't signed him to another year, right?
No, he's
So-
still. I mean, there's still talks of him going to
But-
Man U. There's still talks of him going.
I heard he's going to the Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League is where I heard too. I don't know which team it'll
Was
be in
it
the Premier
Arsenal?
League.
Was it Man U and Arsenal or?
Yeah, I don't think it
Man
was
U.
Arsenal.
It was two-
Man U and somebody else. It wasn't Chelsea. They don't want him
No,
back.
it was another red team. I don't think it was Liverpool.
No, it wasn't Liverpool.
I don't think it was Liverpool.
But the other one that's coming to the U.S. Is talk of Darwin Núñez
Yeah, I heard that
to
today.
Atlanta United.
I heard that today.
Did
So
you
there's
see
some-
that
That's
the Saudi teams, who is it, Al Nassr, Ronaldo's team, is $1 billion in debt.
In debt.
Yeah,
$1 billion.
I'm not shocked by that.
And what is Ronaldo's contract? It's $1 billion.
$1 billion.
So, but no, some other big pieces, right? We talked about Rodri potentially moving, which would have a huge
Right.
implication on the transfer market. Because if Real buys Rodri, now you're looking at Camavinga, Tchouaméni. You know, I even read something that
That's the report. They're struggling because people don't want to leave.
yes,
Right. Yeah.
And I've even read that they're already looking to sell Bernardo Silva in the
Yeah.
same summer that they bought
They
him.
bought him.
That one seems kind of odd to me, but
Yeah.
I could see it. It's not impossible, but
And then
because you got Arda Güler in there that's going to have to get some playing time at some point
Yes.
too. So
Vinny, what happens with Vinny?
Yeah.
I don't know that you spend $100 million on a winger. You have Mbappe, who's really truly a winger. I thought France, when they played their best, was when he was on the wing.
on the wing, yeah.
Vinny, you have Bellingham. So, you know, I don't know that you keep all those players, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to leave. It seems like Vinny is probably the most likely to leave. That's a huge piece. Where does he end up?
Right.
Bradley Barcola for PSG. I think PSG is valuing him at like 170 million.
Yikes.
Which, if you look at the market, is that crazy? I mean, you got to think. I mean,
Well, they're
this
saying Real Madrid's drawn the line, saying that Vinny's it's 160. I
Yeah.
think is what it is for Vinny. So
Yeah.
if he's going 10 over that, I don't.
But Barcola is what, 6-7 years younger? I mean, he's only 19.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's what's insane is he's
It's like
only
it's your buying potential. Yeah.
you're a proven.
Yeah.
You know, it's not quite Lamine Yamal,
Right.
but I don't know that he's too far off. He apparently was extremely upset with Luis Enrique for not starting him.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, who do you pull out of that PSG team, right? So, you know, and then Giancarlo Ramos, I don't know is that for sure done to AC Milan?
Ooh, I don't think so.
But it's looking like he's going to go to AC Milan. So there's a lot of, you know, what happens with Julian Alvarez if he does force a move out of Atletico, which there's rumors of him making another public statement, maybe even refusing to report. That's probably 150 million in Atletico's pocketbook. That where are they going to spend it, right? You know, so there's still I feel like there's still a couple of really, really big time moves that are going to happen that are going to have big domino effects on the rest of the market.
And I feel it sounds like the momentum's building where Chelsea might have to do something with Enzo Fernandez, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It sounds like he's going to have a rough time there once the season starts.
Yeah.
So just anywhere in England right now.
Anywhere in England at all. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean-
that's an interesting one too, right? What happens there? So,
I mean, they don't let him score.
Yeah.
If you're English, don't let him score.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about it.
That's true.
That's how I feel about it. Like,
Yeah, you ain't-
I mean, if the English had as much pride for their country as Enzo did for his, then they probably would have been in the World Cup final.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't.
That one I won't argue, but he also didn't do himself any favors.
No, he did not.
But I don't know. August was August 31st, September 1st, depending on the country, right? Is when the market
Yeah,
closes.
it's when the market closes.
So it'll be I think we're in for a very, and they tend to be coming out of the World Cup, right? They tend to be very up and down, very kind of wild. I feel like this one's going to be wilder than most. So, all right, we move on. U20. Talk to us about U20. World Cup
U20,
qualifying.
yeah, World Cup qualifying has started for us. You know what's also is this doubles as our Olympic qualifier too. Did you know that? So it's kind of crazy that U20s are the ones that qualify for the Olympics, but the U23 team is who plays. And then also you get your three
Overage.
You get your
Who
three
do you think
over-
our three overage players are going to be? If you took a guess right now, Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, and
Yeah,
And
Clint
Tim
Dempsey
Howard?
for sure. No, I would probably
Dude,
say
I would
Tillman.
take Tim Howard right now.
I would take Tim Howard over what we've got. Yeah. No, Malik Tillman will probably be one. I could see him. Honestly, the way things have gone, take Balogun.
have y'all watched the Odyssey yet?
No.
No.
Oh man, one of the characters in the Odyssey looks like Tim Howard.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about when I was
No.
watching it.
He's legit, so I'd take him. No, I would say Balogun for sure. Take him. Take Tillman. Third one, I don't really know. I mean,
Do their clubs release them though?
Chris Richards. Those were my three that I would take.
Yeah.
Yes, do their clubs release them? That's the other thing. What I mean, but it's no. The Olympics is during the summer though.
I guess it's going to come down to.
It goes into the preseason. It's August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like late July. Because I remember watching. I think Spain lost to Brazil in the last Olympics.
Yeah.
And I was in PD watching the game.
Yeah.
On
Well,
my phone while
I
they're
guess-
talking to me about whatever.
But I think it'll. Well, I don't know. It also depends on what clubs they'll be playing for. That you mentioned Balogun, right?
True. Yeah.
Who's he going to be
Balogun,
playing?
who's he going to play?
We didn't even talk about him in the transfer market,
Yeah.
right? are clubs starting to cool on Balogun now? You know,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think
don't-
that
No, I think they're still.
he's got
He's
a very unique skill set.
he does.
And
like
we
to see
talked
him-
about the lack of number 9s on the market.
I'd like to see him in the Premier League, but the question is where?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be the right team, I think, for sure.
I don't know. Is it going to be like a Fulham again? Is it going to do something like that, or is it going to? I don't know. Just interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, U20.
So U20s. How this qualification works is they have a preliminary qualifying. That's 32 lower ranked CONCACAF teams that kind of play. They competed in 6 groups from February to March. Only the 6 group winners advance, and then they join the 6th highest ranked teams that receive buys. So the 6 highest ranked teams were U.S., Mexico, Honduras, Panama, Cuba, and Guatemala. Cuba is interesting with that. So the other ones that qualified were El Salvador. They went 4-0-1 and beat Suriname on the goal differential to get in. Jamaica went 5-0-0. Probably the most dominant qualifying because they scored 28 goals, conceded 0 through their qualifying. Antigua and Barbuda, they got in on 4 clean sheets. Haiti got in on 4 games, 4 wins, scored 16 goals in 4 matches. Costa Rica, which is a team that has traditionally been up there, who's kind of fallen off in the last couple of years. And then Canada was the other team that they scored 24 goals despite losing in their finale to Nicaragua. They still made it. So right now you're looking at Group A, which is where the United States is placed.
Wasn't that Costa Rica last night?
Costa Rica and Mexico played last night. They're in Group B, yeah, because Mexico is the host country for this qualifying, so they played on the first night. Last night it was Mexico and Costa Rica. Mexico scored first in the first half. Coming out the second half, goalkeeper comes out to clear a ball, gets to it first, but elevated so high and had his foot so high that he cleated the kid in the face and went straight red card.
Yeah.
And they were like, he's trying to argue it, but there's 2 things that were going against him. One, he was the last man, and the ball that he hit popped straight up in the air, so it wasn't like he cleared it, like it was still in play to go after. And then second, you put your cleat in a kid's face, so there was no way he was getting out of that. He got the straight red, and but Mexico still hung on, scored a goal, a man down, so they won that one 2-0. They're sitting on 6 points, which means they'll qualify for the next round. USA plays tonight against El Salvador. Cuba plays Haiti tonight. In those games, United States and Cuba both have 3 points already. They both have 3-0 wins to start it out. So we've got a good group, but this is not our best, I would say, U20 group. There's a lot of guys that didn't get released, specifically the Philadelphia Union 6'6" defender. Right. They didn't release him to come
apparently
play.
He's grown. He's now 6'7", apparently.
Well, yeah, he's going to grow every day.
Barcelona apparently is monitoring.
They're monitoring.
Monitoring. They're not interested yet. They're monitoring.
Just kind of looking to see what he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, 6'6" and got
doesn't
hops, man.
You know, I know you're gonna get mad, but doesn't Dynamo have a young kid that's pretty good?
No, I thought Austin FC's the one.
Is it Austin FC?
Yeah, Austin FC's got the one that's been coming on. Irvin Torres, I think, lately.
I haven't seen any good news come out of Austin FC as of late, so I don't know.
No. There's not good things coming out of Austin right now. Also,
know.
nothing good coming out of Houston. Sorry, Heyman. It's just not good. It's at all.
He'll be the first to tell you that one.
Yeah, he will. So U.S. is in a good spot right now. Obviously, the game tonight against El Salvador, you win that, you qualify for the next round. And then from there, you're going to play
So they just have
Cuba.
to win this one to qualify.
They win this one, and then they'll qualify to move on to the next group because it's the top 2 from each group move on, and then the 2 best third-place finishers will also go.
How are my Guatemaltecos playing?
Oh, let's look. Did they get? Yeah, they're in. So Guatemala beat Antigua and Barbuda 4-0 last night.
Okay.
So they're sitting in second place over Costa Rica, which Guatemala's now got to play Mexico next.
That's gonna be tough time.
So
Bad
tough
times.
time.
Bad times
for that one.
No,
but they're with already 3 points, and they've got a +3 goal differential. They're in a good position to get that extra qualifying spot. So they could be one of the ones that moves on. The other group is Canada, Jamaica, Honduras, and Panama. Canada won their opener over Panama, who got a red card, so they had to play a man down for a whole entire half. And then Jamaica got a stunning win over Honduras, 2-1 in the 95th minute, scored a goal to get that winner. So they're sitting good, both Canada and Jamaica, with 3 points.
What's the over/under on red cards for CONCACAF?
Oh my gosh!
You know,
Just
I mean,
talk about
it's-
those games. There's probably already 6 that have happened in the first couple of games. There's a lot, especially in the younger groups. There was almost a red card to Costa Rica last night, but VAR intervened and actually made
Frickin' VAR.
VAR actually made the right call. They were like, "Oh yeah, the Costa Rica guy actually got in front first before he took down the Mexico guy." So they pulled a red card back because that was another red card that was given. So yeah, you're looking at what'll happen is the top 2 from each group that qualify. They'll be in a quarterfinal. If you win your quarterfinal, you get that automatic bid to the World Cup. So you got to be one of those.
So winning this one qualifies you to the quarterfinal, and you got to win the quarterfinal.
And then you got to win the quarterfinal, and then you do that, you're in the World Cup for the U20s.
So they're two matches away.
And then
2 matches away.
Yeah.
And then I guess winning more gets you in a favorable pot.
Probably in a favorable pot. The champion earns CONCACAF's one available spot to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics.
Okay.
So if the U.S. were to win that, they're already qualified because they're hosting. So that's the one thing we don't have to worry about.
So does the number 2 team take
The
that?
number 2 team would
Yeah.
take that spot then.
Okay.
And then the 2027 Pan American Games, that the quarterfinals also qualify for that. So all the quarterfinal winners qualify. So if you make it there, you're going to get to qualify for that one as well.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to play for in that. Like I said, I don't think this is our best U20 team, and there is a lot of concern about us maybe not like losing that quarterfinal game because we don't have our best team there. But I mean, we'll look at it. Ruben Ramos, Santiago Morales, and Dean Clapija, who Clapija is from Red Bull Leipzig. So he's one of our overseas guys that is playing on the World Cup team right now, so the qualifying team. Also, the kid we've talked about, Nafima Berchisma. Limfasha Berchimas. He's on the team. He's playing. So he's one of the kids from Charlotte FC. Torquata from FC Dallas is starting and playing. Jaden Contreras, who's another one that's been heavily involved in under 20, under 17 U.S. is playing.
You know what's the toughest part? The toughest part about some of these kids right now, some of these young guys, is they're not cap tied.
No, they're not.
That's the thing. You
Yeah.
know? So you see potential there. You get your hopes up, but
Then they could take off.
they could take off. Yeah.
So the 21-player roster for us includes 15 players from MLS, 2 from USL Championship, and 3 based in Europe. And then there's 1 college player that's actually on that roster as well.
Who's the college player?
Let me look. That's a good question.
What about
Furman. Braden Dunham. He plays for Furman. He's out of Peachtree City.
Whatever happened to
Dempsey?
our German American defender? You know what I'm talking about? That he like turned down a call right before the
Oh,
World
you're
Cup.
talking about
Banks?
Nakia Banks.
Yeah, Nakia
he's
Banks.
still holding out hope that Germany's going to call him in. So if Germany doesn't call him in, there's a good chance that we may get him this next cycle.
Yeah, we talked about him in an episode
Yeah.
that Wes and I were on. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn on the guy as to, yes, he's a talent. Do we swallow our pride and take him if he kind of is like, okay, I'll settle for the U.S.? Or is it more of a, because I felt like that was kind of some of the issues that we had back during the Jurgen Klinsmann time with some of the guys from
Right.
Germany, right? Where they were kind of, for lack of better words, some people called them mercenaries,
Yes.
right? So, no, shout out to Brian Heyman, Mercenary FC.
Yep.
But, so I don't know. That's kind
Yeah,
of
you need guys.
that's kind of my one issue there.
What was Scaloni had a quote? I think that he talked about guys that grow 6 inches when they put on the Argentina shirt.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of guys we need for the U.S.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
when they put on that U.S. crest, that they play bigger than what they are.
I think it depends on the position right now because, do we need more midfielders? If we got one that's kind of wishy-washy, I think we're like, okay, do whatever. But
Yeah.
the fact that it's a center back position and that's one that we desperately need,
Yeah.
I think you're going to see more of a leeway that we're like, we might stick around and wait.
Yeah.
He's talented. The other one right now that's over in Germany is Matthias Albert. He scored this weekend. in one
Albert,
of the-
Matisse
Albert, yeah.
Albert.
Because what is he also? He could be. I think he could play for France.
Right, yeah.
He also could play for Mexico. I think.
Yeah. I think he's the one. Was he the one, or was it Hall or
Benji
Yeah,
Flowers is the other one. in
Flowers?
Mexico.
Flowers. It was
Flowers is also the one
Benji
that could be
Flowers,
Mexico as well.
Benji Flowers? Yeah.
But yeah, you've got Albert. he looked phenomenal. I mean, he looked fantastic in the preseason friendly for Dortmund, and he got on a lot in the end of the year last year. Played a lot more minutes, but the coach was talking about, man, he's probably made the biggest jump out of anybody on their team to kind of get more and more minutes as they go through.
That is why we have him on the Red, White, and Crew podcast. Aaron Wesner talking U20 World Cup qualifying, which I was definitely not up to speed on the process on that one. So, but yeah, man. So again, thank you for joining us. Or you're watching episode 22 of the Red, White, and Crew podcast as we're coming to you live here in Frisco, Texas, at the En Fuego Tobacco Shop at the what do we call it again? Frisco Square.
Frisco Square.
Frisco Square. So if you're in the area, if you're listening to this, come on out and join us. We'll be out here for a little bit longer as we're making our way through the episode here. So, all right, next up we have our Elias is going to start us off on our 2030 way too early predictions, which this can go in all kinds of different directions. Hence the name of the episode, all over the place. But lead us off, Elias.
Yeah, I got the idea from, you go on ESPN and there's 2028 mock drafts on there, right? Or 2020, 2035 mock drafts. And so I think it's always fun. There's a lot of appetite for the World Cup right now. So it's always exciting to make predictions for things that definitely will not happen.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know what's going on.
But no, I think that there's some big storylines to look at. First we got to look. We've talked about 64 teams. That's going to shape what's going to happen over the next 4 years considerably with qualifying, right? You're looking at CONMEBOL. Now
is 64 a done deal?
The president of CONMEBOL has come out and said that 64 is happening.
FIFA still hasn't declared.
FIFA has
He
not.
hadn't declared it, but he came out and was pretty confident that
He was pretty
it's
confident.
happening.
Yeah. So.
I mean, look at the money.
Yeah.
I mean, because they'll have to do that before qualifying starts. So.
You have to. You
Anyway,
have to
sorry.
determine.
I keep wondering that, and I just hadn't seen anything since the CONMEBOL president.
I bet you that's something we can bet on Call Sheet.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Did you see that series yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
No,
I need to go watch it.
It's only like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry. Bro.
No, you're good. Yeah, I mean, it's, and then now you're looking at Portugal, Spain, Morocco on the other side. So it's a really interesting, if you're already starting to draw the storylines, right? You have South America versus Europe. The origins of the World Cup versus the heavyweights of the World Cup in present time. So it's going to be
old school versus new school.
Old school versus new school. So it's going to open up. Right away, you got to look at who's not going to be there. Is Messi going to be there? Probably, maybe.
I think so.
Maybe Ronaldo, Harry Kane.
Definitely not.
I can see Ronaldo just because of Portugal.
Yeah.
That's the only.
Just because it's there.
Yeah.
But at 45 years old,
Maybe he coaches them.
Super sub. He's gonna have to. It's like, look, dude,
There's
you're
no way.
You're getting in the last 15 minutes. End of story.
No way we're putting you on the field first. There's no chance.
End of story.
But I do think that if you're looking at it right now, you have to think Spain and France are the favorites again. You have to. If you look at the makeup of the roster, Doué, Mbappe will be the elder statesman at 31. Of that front four. I mean, 31, you're still well in your
he's
prime.
still well, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And he's going to be the oldest one out of them.
That's crazy.
You have Barcola, who's going to be 23, turning 24.
I'd be curious about Morocco, how they load up, what they do differently, because for them, this is it.
And that's what I was going to go.
Yeah.
I think that you could see Morocco being the first African country in a World Cup final in this one. Yeah. You're at home. You have.
Could it be played in Casablanca too?
It could be played in Casablanca.
Yeah,
They're
that's
supposed
still
to
up
be
in the air, yeah.
What, the $1.5 billion stadium,
Have
the
you seen it?
110,000.
I see. Yeah, I
It
saw
looks
the blueprints.
insane.
I saw it, yeah.
Is it a Qatar 2.0 where 17,000 people die making the stadium?
Yeah.
Could, yeah.
And it seats how much? How much?
110. 110.
I thought it was 115. Yeah, I saw something the other day.
Maybe 115. I thought you said
150.
150.
No, 115.
I was like, that's crazy.
No. 115,000 is what it is. I mean, but when you look at it compared to all of the other stadiums that they're using, that one makes the most sense for it to be in a final.
I don't know, but the Bernabeu
Bernabeu's gonna hold on.
and the new Camp Nou, right? They're barely going to put the roof on the new Camp Nou in 2027, 2028.
Of the three, the Bernabeu seats the least.
Yes, I think it's only like 75, right?
I think it's like 80,
80?
80-ish, 81.
And I think the new Camp Nou is going to get up back. It's not going to get.
So 105?
Yes, 105. I
105.
mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
I can't see them awarding. Now, I mean, you never know, right? We were just talking on air about all the financial, how maybe FIFA can be bought now or.
Well, they
whatever.
just did it. They just did it with New York, when realistically it should have.
It should have been in Dallas.
It should have been LA or Dallas.
Yeah.
Or Atlanta.
Yeah.
Or Atlanta.
One of
Yeah.
I mean, a dome stadium.
Yeah.
That I mean, and it would have been. I do think that took away from the final a little bit. It was hot. There was smoke. There was, so.
Yeah.
But
It was like playing in Azteca.
Yeah, it was like playing the Azteca. But no, I think Morocco. They had the 18-year-old midfielder that started for them. They've got a lot of pieces in. They just won the last iteration of the Under-20 World Cup. So there's a lot of talent there. They're on home soil. We saw what home soil did for the U.S. We saw what it did for Mexico. We even saw Canada.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, Canada is not. They are not a knockout team in the World Cup.
No.
But they found a way to get out because they were playing at home.
It was because their coach, man. It was. It was the genes.
And the genes.
Must have been the genes.
So that's going to be very interesting. Morocco, Spain's core is very young.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Kubarsi is going to be 23. Lamine Yamal is going to be 23. Nico Williams is going to be 27. Pedri's going to be 28. Gavi. Hussein from Real. I mean, there's a lot of and they didn't win the last Under-20 World Cup, but they won the one before that.
Right.
They just won the Under-21 Euros, scoring 17 goals and conceding zeros.
Yeah, the defense looks insane.
I mean, that's absolutely crazy.
That's the real story here with this Spanish team, right? It's not just the possession oriented. It's not tiki taka, but the defense, right? The defense.
They suffocate you.
Yeah.
You can't get out, and then it's psychologically draining, where you are defending for so long, and then you have the ball, and you almost feel like you're never going to have it again. So you feel like you have to do something with
sloppy.
it,
Yeah.
which makes you turn it over again,
Right.
and then you don't see it again for another 15 minutes. So, but
It's insane, man.
France, England. England has all the pieces except the number 9. And that's the one place where you can't do it by committee.
Because Harry Kane will be what, like 39 by then?
39.
38, 39?
Yeah. I think he's 33? Maybe he'll be 37.
I
don't know.
I thought he was about 34.
We got to do a deep dive into all of England's youth teams and what they look like, but they're another one that gets poached a lot as far
33?
as
Yeah,
He's
33.
33, so he'll be 37.
37?
So he'll still be serviceable if he's healthy.
So there's a lot of, but then Spain, what are they going to do without Rodri? Who's going to be the other center back for, Laporta? Is Cucurella able to go again?
You think he retires? He's been talking about it a lot.
He said he was going to retire. He said if they won, he got the tattoo.
Got the tattoo.
Of Boldy. Shout out Hector Cano.
Yeah.
But we just got to get you on that weight room regiment like De La
Hey,
Fuente,
I'll
man.
get back on there. I was on there once.
And I mean, he looks like freaking Spanish Mr. Clean out there,
know he
man.
does.
Like he's just freaking jacked.
I know.
But
Looks like a young Hector Cano.
Argentina. I think it's the end of the cycle. I think it's going to take them a little while. I think they're going to go back to quarterfinal exits. I just don't know that. One, obviously, Messi is the best player of all time. But then two, the way that he was able to get his teammates to play for him, that just is not going to be able to be replicated. No. So,
they kind of got a clean house there.
They do.
I mean, it's I would say from probably Scaloni on down, but even the Argentine Federation, even off the field, is a mess right now. Just allegations, different things going on. So I don't know.
A lot of things going on in that locker room that we don't know about too.
Yeah,
sure.
Right.
But there's still some pieces there where they'll be competitive. I just don't know. I think it's unrealistic to see them making.
Brazil's still trying to figure themselves out too.
I mean, what does Endrick look like? What does Esteval look like?
Yeah.
I mean, I think those are the two keys to their team in 2030.
I mean, if there was ever a time,
they're going to be 23 at that point.
yeah. If there was ever a time to take over South America, like you just talked about Argentina, Brazil doesn't look like Brazil, and the other big dog, Uruguay, just crashed out.
Yeah.
So
I think it's Colombia's time.
Colombia.
I thought that's who we were going to see. I thought they were going to take out the Swiss, and I thought they'd have Argentina's number.
I thought they would, yeah. We just don't need to let center backs take PKs anymore. Can we move on from that?
But the Swiss are so good in knockout games.
No, they are.
I mean, they're incredible.
Did you see that?
They were hard to figure out, though.
Yes.
They were hard to figure out, and that's why I kind of wanted to pick them as a potential dark horse or sleeper, and I just shied away. I just didn't trust it, and that's what I was second guessing.
Did you see what the referees have come out and said about that?
I sent that to you guys.
You
Did you
did
see
send
that?
it. Yeah, you were the one that sent it. Yeah. And Bola.
I didn't get a
should
chance
not
to read
have
it because I
gotten-
was driving, but
They said he should not have gotten carded.
Yeah.
It was not a good use.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
VAR.
that was the thing that I was arguing the whole time is procedure, right?
Yeah.
Procedure.
But it was a new right. I think where you have to give. I don't know
the mistaken identity piece.
the mistaken identity piece.
So were they just confused about that? Is
I
that what
think
it was?
I think that it was a brand new rule, right? That was the first time VAR had been allowed to go in and change
A yellow
that
card
at
away,
all.
yeah.
Right.
At all, whether it was for a red card or whether it was for whatever. So I think that there was maybe some confusion. I think that IFAB came out and they wanted to clarify that. I think that's more of rather than saying this was a mistake. It's a clarification of the rule.
Yeah.
Because anytime new rules are put in place, then you start to see, okay, well, where is it applied? And we talked about, right, the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law, right?
Yeah.
Well, and whenever you introduce them right at a World Cup,
Yes.
this is what's going to happen.
And I felt like those rules were released, maybe 2 months before
Oh,
the
it was
World Cup?
maybe less than that.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was just reading about right up until we got. So I think that's really hard.
So you factor that in with I don't know if you saw. Did you guys see that video clip that I sent you guys on Landon Donovan talking to that official
Yeah.
in Dallas?
Yeah, in the
and
elevator.
he was and he was talking about how it's like, dude, it's like we come from all these different leagues, all these different confederations, all these different regions around the world, and we got to get spun up quickly. And then you're talking to guys in the VAR team, and sometimes they're not speaking. They don't even speak your language. That's a lot of interpretation.
That is a lot of interpretation.
That's a lot.
And we see what it's done with the U.S. and the way Pochettino has said things that have gotten misconstrued.
Yeah.
And the way Tuchel some of the words that he uses that get misconstrued and how we take them differently. So I couldn't imagine.
That's why you see a lot of players refuse to give interviews in anything other than their native language.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered that with just the game in general, right? I think that's what makes our sport so awesome. But I've always wondered, so being someone that speaks multiple languages, I've always wondered that, like, dude, how do coaches convey their message, right? When you got all these different like nationalities and languages and, and I get it, soccer is soccer, but still, I mean, even when you're trying to communicate and manage personnel, manage people, there's just a lot of stuff that can get lost.
I was listening to a podcast about a Chinese coach. He's one of the coaches for one of the big clubs in China, and I don't want to say the wrong club because I don't want to be like, oh, you're just throwing out a Chinese name and you're wrong, right? But he was talking about, he doesn't speak the language, so they brought in a translator, and he's like, we spent a month going over just coaching language and making sure that we got the wording correct.
Yeah. Right.
That what we were trying to say is what was actually being translated, because there is so much loss in translation, right? And this is somebody, they have a dedicated translator, and a lot of times it's now you're doing it on the fly with no real translator, no real communication prior. It's hard to get onto it, right? So I mean, there's
and
a lot.
Soccer is soccer, or football is football, but still, I mean, I could say one word in terms of a cue, right?
Yeah.
Verbal, nonverbal. and it could just be. I could be using it completely wrong,
Yeah.
right? And you're interpreting it like, what is this dude talking about?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's always fascinated me.
It's like I saw a TikTok. It's this guy talking in Spanglish, and he's like, "Hey, sir, can I molest you real quick?" He's like, wait, ¿cómo se dice molestar? He's like, oh yeah, bother.
He's just
can I bother?
he's screwing it up left
He's
and right.
right.
One word
And
after
he's
another.
like- he's like,
One word after
one word after another. He
Yeah.
just gets, and it's just, but that just goes to show you, how crazy, there's small things that can be
Yeah,
interpreted.
I saw that one like maybe a week ago. I saw that.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So,
Yeah.
but no, I mean, Morocco, I think is gonna first African country, I think, to make a World Cup final. I do think the U.S. Goes on, and I do think they get over the hump. They make a quarterfinal this time. That's one of my hot takes.
Really? All right.
So, but
Should I put a futures bet on it?
right now, probably pays out pretty good right
I'm
now.
sure it would pay out quite a bit. I'm sure Morocco would pay out quite a bit too.
Can you put out 2030 stuff already out there?
Probably, we can probably talk someone into taking the bet.
Kind of wondering. I'm kind of wondering if that's even out there.
And then in 2030, you got to look at Zidane, Klopp, right, versus
Oh, that's
No.
the biggest thing. That's
Yeah.
going to be the World Cup of.
Yeah.
And did y'all see?
Managers who
have
played.
y'all?
What if
have y'all?
what if Pep's coaching the team too?
If Pep's in there, that'd be crazy too. Is Ancelotti still there? Right? Is he still with Brazil? Is Pochettino with the U.S.? I mean, you could see
Dude, he could be with Argentina.
He could be with Argentina.
he could be with Argentina.
I think it'd be a career killer for him though.
Argentina?
To go to Argentina, just with everything that's going on right now, I don't.
I
think
would
the
not
next
be
coach
surprised
that
if
shows up
Scaloni
there is gonna
stays.
be good.
I hadn't thought about it from that perspective.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who's the next coach that takes over? Are they going to see success right away, or are they going to have to go through a couple before
I,
they can fix it?
yeah, I could see Scaloni coming back. I really do.
Think so?
I mean, you
Well,
look
it
at
sounded-
he's
it
a
sound-
career international manager.
It sounded like he had a fallout though with Messi too, though. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much I really read into all those things,
I don't know.
because they were.
Well, in that interview, right, that post-match interview, where he just loses it and gets up and walks off, clearly something was not right. You know, it was not. It was beyond just the emotion of losing a World Cup final.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn.
I just don't think Messi has ever been that type of player to hold that grudge over a coach that long.
No,
Like, have you ever seen that? to
Yes,
be at Barcelona.
I mean,
he's done.
now
it before,
part of it
but
is, right. I mean,
But when he was younger.
when he was
much
younger, and it was when Barcelona was going through a tough time. So who are you going to blame? You're not going to blame the coach. You're going to blame your best player, right? It's the same thing that the Argentines did to Messi, where they scapegoated him for everything. But
Yeah, people forget. People forget like the Argentine people were not big on Messi for all the way up through probably 2018.
it's because he's Brazilian.
Even after 2018, because he lost the World Cup when they lost the World Cup final, right?
2014 is when they lost the World Cup
Or
final.
2014. No, I'm thinking 2016 when they lost.
They lost in 2015 and 2016 back
lost
to back
Copas.
to lost to Chile.
Chile. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in 2016, not 2018.
And I think didn't he miss the penalty in New York?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they were saying that was why? And they were wearing the white jersey.
Yeah,
And
that
so
was
that
when.
wa-
That's the famous clip of him crying. Right?
Yes, and that's when he
it was
retired.
When he retired.
Yeah.
When he retired.
So I don't know. I do think that there are certain managers that are built for international football. I think Scaloni is one of them.
Yeah.
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 And so it'll be interesting, but there's going to be some big time players. France. Saliba's only going to be 29, Camavinga 27, Doué 24, Mbappe
Yeah.
31.
That whole roster has another cycle in them.
Yeah, they do.
France.
Whole cycle.
Did you guys see Elise playing pickup soccer in New York?
I did.
I did.
That was awesome. That was
insane.
awesome. Yeah.
The
He was
guys
like in
didn't know.
pajama pants.
He was in pajama pants. It was kind of crazy, like zebra pajama pants, and the guys had no idea who it was.
That's funny. That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, Germany can Klopp get them back? I don't know if did y'all see his opening press conference?
I did.
Wow. Yeah.
He kind of went at the media.
That was
Yeah,
like.
he basically told them like,
Yeah.
you can criticize me, you can criticize my players, but if you come after my family, then I'll quit.
Yeah.
Yep,
yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out. And
Yeah.
so, which I thought,
Good.
good for him. He's probably one of the only managers that has the ability to say that, and the media be like, okay,
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah,
We'll
he's
back
coming
off.
in.
Yeah.
Establish expectations. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
him-
that was pretty crazy.
Him and Pep, and maybe we see Mourinho coaching Portugal in 2030.
That would be wild.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine the coach they hired makes it all the way to 2030. He's like 98 years old.
Yeah, I know.
I
don't,
mean,
The guy they hired after
Yes.
Martinez.
I mean, he looks like he invented soccer. Like, I mean,
Does that guy? Does Roberto? Does he? That's crazy.
he was well. The thing about it, I saw that hire, and first of all, it was super quick, and then second of all, I was like, dude, you guys are hosting a World Cup in 4 years. Are you guys like? Do you not get the whole momentum and how you want to build in, establish, a certain level of momentum across your country? And I just because this dude is not it.
No, he's
This
not
dude
the
is
guy.
it. He's not it. Yeah.
wasn't he Ronaldo's coach in Saudi Arabia, or he coached a team in Saudi Arabia?
Was it? He did coach him, but I'm trying to remember if it was in Saudi. I think it was Saudi. I don't know if it was. I was trying to think if it was Saudi or if it
was he the first coach?
or going back to Sporting. I can't remember if it was when he was all the way back in Sporting. One or the other. I think it might have been Saudi Arabia.
I mean, it makes sense that he coached him back when he was a young buck in Sporting. I mean,
I know.
25 years ago.
It was probably Saudi Arabia, but
Hey, maybe
Yeah.
that's why Ronaldo sticks around. He got this guy to coach. 'cause
Yeah,
he got him to agree to let him start again.
Well, and he came out and said that Ronaldo is still very much a part of his plans.
Of course,
He said Ronaldo is Portugal, I believe, which I don't.
he is Portugal losing early on.
well, and that's a much tougher one to move on with when you're hosting a World Cup. I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jorge Jesus.
So I'll let you guys continue with the 2030 way too early. So I'm gonna pay the water bill real quick.
He was Al Nassr's coach.
Al Nassr.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he was Ronaldo's coach most recently. So I don't know, that to me that kind of screams of Inter Miami hired Tata Martino
Yeah.
when Messi first got there, or Inter Miami.
Yeah. Inter Miami did,
And
it
then
was
they
back
hired
with
Javier.
Atlanta.
They fired him really quickly.
They got
Javier
Mascherano.
Mascherano came in, didn't work out. So
Well, Mascherano won a title with him,
he did,
and then he left.
and then he left. But he had a big falling out, I think, with the players and things
Yeah.
like that. So,
Tata's back in Atlanta where things were going so well before.
oh gosh, Tata Martino sucks.
He's not great. I tell you, the one that I think we need to keep a close eye on is Rafa Marquez in Mexico. Like, what does Mexico look like with him as a coach?
He has such a unique background, right?
He does.
I mean, he was also coaching for Barcelona's youth team. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think I hated him as a player.
Yeah.
But it more was not that he wasn't a good player. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just hated it when he played against the U.S. because of our rivalry and what he would do to players. But he was fantastic at what he did.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I think his assistant is Juan Molilo.
Yeah, there was talk the other day about who he was bringing in to come.
And who is
There was somebody else too, a big name that he brought in.
so Juan Molilo is kind of the godfather of the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
He was a coach in Mexico. When Pep retired or semi-retired, he went and played second division soccer in Mexico specifically to play for Lilo because they had a conversation after a game in Spain one time. And he was like, this guy just understands the
He
game.
just knows it.
He
Yeah.
just knows it. So he was his assistant this past year for Manchester City. And so
That is who I saw because they
yeah.
were talking about Man City Connect.
but there's a lot of background there, and he's almost like a Marcelo Bielsa, where maybe not a head coach, but his tactical and the way that he sees the game is so unique.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a really interesting dynamic there, where
It is.
you have somebody who was the captain of Mexico, right? I mean,
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's going to garner so much respect from that locker room just because of who he is and what he's done.
he was in 5 World Cups?
Yeah,
I don't think he
We're
did.
talking about Rafa Marquez taking over
Marquez,
Mexico.
yeah.
I mean, that's a huge. It's
Yeah.
a huge get for them, and I could see them being very successful. And I don't want to say this, but
He has to be right up there with Hugo Sanchez as like the best Mexican players of all time.
Yeah, he's right. He's in that discussion for sure. I think I was surprised because he passed on that he basically passed on that Barca gig to take this
role on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That scares me.
yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going
And
to be.
I mean, we get to see it early on because he's
Yeah.
taking over and he's going to be coaching in Phoenix.
Yeah, and he's gonna bring a different view, and we're also talking about his assistant, Juan Molilo.
oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Who I think and that makes a scary backroom staff for Mexico. And,
Yeah.
and so that they could.
Will it translate in terms of the players responding to them? You know, I think.
You know what I was telling Wes is that Lilo also coached in Mexico, and he coached a guy you may have heard of him, Pep Guardiola, moved to Mexico to play for this guy.
Not really.
Not many people have heard of that guy before, but so it I think that there's a lot of experience there, and I think that's a smart move. And maybe if we had Rafa, we could ask Rafa what he thinks. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he's excited about it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's for them. I think it's a great opportunity. Well, and that's the other thing. Speaking of which, mentioning Rafa Marquez is. This is where the U.S. can't fall behind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Mexico has a plan. They had a plan in place ahead of time. Boom. They seamless transition. They're off and running.
Felt like it was an hour after they lost to England.
Right.
By the way,
I think he was announced before. It was almost like the Zidane thing,
Coaching
where
waiting.
Yeah.
where they were like, "Hey, this is going to be the guy."
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to make an official announcement until it's over, out of
Yeah.
respect. But
Right.
it was already, Aguirre and Deschamps had made it clear that this was their last go, and so the federation was like. But that also, right? That changes the way you're able to approach things when you have Aguirre at the end of his career, where he's able to say, "This is it," and Mexico's
is he done coaching or just done with Mexico?
I think he's
Did
done
I not see a
coaching. He's
link?
like 70.
Well, he's older, but I saw some link with him in South Korea too.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Deschamps, I don't know what Deschamps is going to do. He's probably retiring. But they were able, those federations were able to plan in advance, whereas the U.S. is hoping that Poach comes back.
Right.
And I think that's a completely different dynamic.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Because I think that those guys, my understanding or my guess is that those decisions were made well before the World Cup.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where they, the federations were well aware of their intentions before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's an interesting piece of it, and it'll shape the way that we go about it.
We got any more comments over there?
No, nothing new.
I
Not
can
the
see all
latest. Nothing new. But if you are listening to us, thank you again. This is episode 22 of the Red, White, and Crew podcast, coming to you live from the Enfuego Tobacco Shop here in Frisco, Texas, at Frisco Square. We've covered quite a bit already. We're going to transition. We're going to move on. So we're going to kind of go around the world here. So start off with what is the great soap opera for the rest of the world. That is the Italian Federation Nuclear Meltdown.
Oh, my gosh.
Where do we begin? I mean, it's a great comedy. And I'm hoping that we're 64 because maybe they'll have a chance to finally qualify. But, I mean,
I think that would be great if we go 64 and they still don't make it.
Yeah. I mean, in one fell swoop, in one day, they lost Pirlo, Maldini, and Leonardo, right?
Yeah.
And then now you want to replace them with Mancini and
Ranieri.
Yeah, the Tinkerman kind of, I think that could be good in that role. I could see that, but so a guy who didn't get them through a qualification and then bailed on them so he could take a job in Saudi Arabia too, right?
Yeah,
they still offered, and they still brought him back.
Well, that's because they have no one else.
Yeah, I think that screams to what is wrong with Italian soccer right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Senior
you go,
levels, yeah.
If you go and you look at it, it's the same 4 or 5 coaches that are not elite coaches that are coaching. They bounce from one job to the other job to the other job to the other job to the other job. So what happens? Every team in Italy plays the same outdated way. There's no innovation in Italy right now. Everyone's playing 3-5-2, 3-4-3. Right, we're gonna be compact defensively, and we're gonna break, which is fine if you're trying to get results.
They've completely lost their identity.
Yes, and not necessarily that they've. I read something like Italy doesn't have any attackers because all their wingers get converted to wingbacks.
Yeah.
So, it's whereas you look at, the Premier League, La Liga, Germany, France, even though the leagues have kind of an identity, right? The Premier League is more transitional, more powerful. La Liga is more technical. But within there's all this nuance, right? These coaches are doing something a little bit different, and it's driving the game forward in those countries. Whereas I think Italy is stuck in 2006.
Yeah, it's just stalled.
Yeah, I mean, just look at their infrastructure, their stadiums,
Yeah.
their everything, right? Just how they do business. And this is they're supposed to be hosting what is it, 2032 Euros?
Is it the 32 Euros?
I think it's the 32 Euros that they host. So, and they got all kinds of, the San Siro's finally being done up, but they have, their infrastructure across the board is bad.
Yeah.
It is bad. So, that's why, they're just a supreme mess.
I just don't know how you're talking about Paolo Maldini, who is
Arguably the greatest defender ever.
ever
Ever.
the best Italian player of all time.
Yeah. And his first decision,
you shut
him down.
You shoot him down. When
Yeah.
Italy is for sure never been embroiled in
No.
money problems, right?
No, there's never been any
not once.
type of
Not
scandal
one-
going on
nothing.
there.
The best team has never been relegated to the second division. But
Yeah.
let's talk. Let's send these teams to Saudi Arabia to play in the Copa.
Yeah.
But Russia, gambling is where we draw the line. And
Well,
so to me, that's where I'm like, either, don't sit here and pretend that you're so morally high when you're going and making decisions that.
Yeah. And it pains me to see, man, just because how bad. This is an all-time embarrassing low. Now, even for a country that hasn't qualified in 3 cycles, right?
Yeah.
This is like a new low. And it pains me to see that as someone who played there, as someone who lived there, and what it was like when I was there, 99 to 2002 to now. It's like, man, I just would have never guessed. I would have never bet on any futures market that this would be the case with the Italian Federation now.
Yeah.
So.
What world-class players do they have right now?
No, I was thinking about that when we started talking about it. I was trying to go through it in my head. I don't know. I don't think there is.
Whereas in 06 you had, you had Nesta, you had Cannavaro, you had Gattuso, you had Pirlo, you had all these Buffon, you had all these incredible players.
Balotelli was crazy.
The
but he was,
Gallinis
good.
of the world were just coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, they were just starting to come up.
You had Totti, Maldini had just retired from Italy,
Right.
but now your best player is Sandro Tonali,
Yeah.
maybe Bastoni, maybe. Even Bonucci and who was the other center back for Juventus? Why can't I?
Oh, this year.
But even those players, they're
Oh
done.
my God.
They're
I see
gone.
his face. Yeah,
So
it'll
it's-
come to me later. Yeah.
They need a Gattuso. That's what they need.
Yeah.
And then you have young players like Chiesa that flopped at Chelsea, right? Or Liverpool, I guess. We never saw the best of him.
Yeah.
They had the Spinazzola, who was really, really good in that Euro run. Was that 2020?
It's 21. Yeah, it was
It was
year
the-
later because of COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he tears his Achilles early in the next
Yeah.
season. So
Yeah.
it's a combination of misfortune and also extremely
Right.
poor. So, as Wes said, which problems do you want?
Yeah.
Would you take the chance on Italy's problems, or would you keep the U.S.'s problems?
Yeah.
I would stay with the U.S.
And they wrote the book. They wrote the book on defending, man. They wrote the book on how to help you if you fall behind. Because all they needed was one goal, right?
Yeah.
They score one and it's over, right?
Yeah,
So,
not get the red card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And put you in a position to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were winning that game. They were up 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
Coasting. And then the red card happens. And
So what happens there, TBD, what that's going to look like as they go through European qualifying will be interesting. So, all right, next one. Liga, you guys seen these Liga MX protesting that's going
love
on
it.
Yeah.
at the start of matches? So, and in case you're not aware, so what we're discussing, so in the this past weekend's games, almost every league, I think it might have been every single Liga MX match, they were protesting at kickoff by essentially not playing the ball, neither team playing for at least the first minute.
Yeah.
So much so that I know in one of the matches, I forget which one it was, the referee was yelling at the at the players. And the genesis behind the protest is because the officials, the La Liga or Liga MX officials, made the decision that they're going to do away. They brought it back for a short while, and they're going to do away with it again with the promotion of what used to make Liga MX great, the Pro Rel. What are your thoughts on that?
So I guess for me, if you are a top team in the second division that probably has been in the first flight recently,
Yeah.
and now you're being told you can never go back up to the first flight.
Yeah, now you're in limbo. Yeah.
You know, I mean,
What's the incentive?
That
Yeah.
to me, you're setting the country back.
Right.
Oh, it is.
And I think that's why it took so long for the U.S. to break, you know, the runs of where it seemed like we just couldn't beat Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It feels like we're almost turning back to that.
Yeah.
Where it's about to be that phase where we're going to struggle to beat Mexico just the way they're going. So everything positive that's happening, you know, on the international front with them, their home league, I think it's not setting them forward for sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at all how many of the top Mexican players are playing in Europe right now?
yeah. I don't think they had very many.
No.
I
Not
think
very
that
many.
was,
They're
I think
all
that was
kind of
one
in
of
Liga
the
MX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's why they want Mora to go so bad. So what's going to happen with him? That's another. Another.
He
interesting one
needs
in
to
terms of
go La
transfer.
Liga.
So I think he's going to go somewhere. The question is it going to be in a good setup for him, good environment?
I think he needs to play in La Liga, a little bit less physical, more technical.
Yeah.
Where they
Definitely
also
less physical. He can't go play in the
Yeah.
Premier League.
but they appreciate that type of player.
Yeah.
A player that's really good
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of wonder with these owners, right, in Liga MX, is that the kind of influence of MLS owners, right? And they see the profit, they see the difference, and they're
Well, yeah,
You
the
know,
last 3 years you've seen this kind of almost like what looks like a merger coming with MLS and Liga MX because they've now specifically, like tomorrow night, we've got the MLS All-Star game that's Liga MX against the MLS All-Stars, and we've seen that over the last 3 years. The culmination of Leagues Cup coming into play where it's yeah. That's a feral pig, by the way, that I'm smoking. Shout out to Enfuego for letting me have a feral pig for the podcast. But
Yeah, man.
the Leagues Cup has been huge for MLS and Liga MX to get the combination of these two leagues playing against each other to see a winner. And more times than not, MLS is kind of getting over that hump of being the better team.
Right.
Like the MLS All-Stars have won the last couple of years. The skills challenge is on tonight. I highly encourage you to go watch that. That's a fun one to watch.
Yeah, that's tonight, right?
It's tonight. The Leagues Cup or the skills game is tonight.
Where is it?
The All-Star game is tomorrow.
Orlando, or where is it?
I don't know. I haven't watched anything of it yet. I need to go look, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy watching those. We can talk about Messi's not playing in the All-Star game again after he's been selected the third
year.
time,
Soft.
and he's still not playing and still not getting fined. Everyone else gets fined for not playing, but he's the only one that's not going to get fined for not playing.
I think he gets a pass on this one.
This one I'll say yes. The previous two, no.
Soft.
Yeah.
Acting like he's 39.
Yeah, come on.
Get up and play. So last one. We kind of hit on it a little briefly. Chicharito, right? I know that one was kind of like, wow. But the question, so here's my thought, is like, is there some, maybe they haven't come out with it, but I'm kind of getting the sense that there's some like other added incentive for him.
He has a
gonna
he has a
coach.
promised front office role at the end.
Which could be in 6 months.
So that's,
You know, I mean, let's be real. How
so that's
long-
it though. That's all that they've,
I don't know that
I
they
was thinking,
necessarily
I'm
did a
gonna-
messy thing where he has stake in the club.
like
or-
the ownership. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I kind of felt like, is there more to it than that, or like?
I think he sees it as I can go get paid. They probably found a decent amount of money to pay him.
There's been an influx in money.
I mean, how long is he going to play for? You know,
His contract's 2 years. He's actually not going to start playing.
No, I mean, how long will he actually play for? I guess.
Yeah. I believe.
Because they don't start till next year.
Yeah, they don't start till 2027.
Yeah.
So he has, another 6 months or so, 4 or 5 months or so to.
I honestly think that's just a marketing ploy to
Yeah.
try to drum up business for them. I don't think he's somebody that's going to come in and play and do well and look great. I think everything they're doing is trying to get them to be successful.
I don't know though. I know he's old, but we talked about this the other day. Like, did y'all have Luis Suarez out playing Lewandowski in that game?
No.
No. Some
Yeah.
those
But
those
I think
finishers.
too, you're talking about the Cotton Bowl, where we're saying that this is now going to be the best thing in Dallas. The only team playing in Dallas is Atletico Dallas, and we're going to drum up all this business. But FC Dallas wasn't successful there. That's why they're in Frisco.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to get butts in seats at least
for a little bit.
First
Mexico,
couple of games.
So how
but-
long does that last? Though?
Right.
You know.
Right. And he's not the kind of player. He's kind of like we talked about it earlier, right? He needs service, and he's a poacher, right?
Yeah.
So he's not.
But what Atletico Dallas has done well is I think they have built in a fan base already
Yeah.
with their youth club.
No, they have.
So you have. And
They are doing things very different.
on the men's. So they started with the youth club,
Yeah.
and then they added the professional team. So now, on the men and women's side, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Atletico Dallas play and Dallas Trinity play right after them, or Dallas
Yeah.
Trinity play and
Like
then
double
Atletico
headers.
Dallas
Yeah.
play right after.
Yeah, you'll fill up that stadium.
You
a lot
will
more.
fill that stadium.
And
up.
and even if you get, it may look empty, but if you get 15,000 people there, 10,000 people there, how far off of that is that from what currently FC Dallas capacity is, right?
Well, we're at 19 here.
Yeah.
And you've seen, I mean, not now because of
Yeah.
all the construction, but the renovation, renovating the way when it's done is going to be.
Excited,
I
but
heard they
but
built a
before
clubhouse.
the renovation, you never sold out that east side because in the summer,
No, because of the sun. During the
sun.
summer, you weren't. But
Yeah.
the other games,
Yes.
like a lot of people
Yeah.
make a lot of claims about not selling that place out. But over the last 2-3 seasons, you have seen
Yeah.
more and more season ticket holders. One, it's growing. I will tell you that. But the problem is, I don't know how much you can grow a game in Dallas. Look at every pro team right now. The Dallas Mavericks are out. The Dallas Stars are out. Everybody's trying to leave that area. So yeah, you get one team that's going to be around and stay. But also, Dallas was not the home of Atletico Dallas when it started.
Yeah.
The start was Garland.
Garland.
They wanted them to be in Garland, and then things fell apart and broke down.
well, they
in
wanted
the
a,
stadium.
they wanted like a North Texas SC style
Yeah.
stadium, right? A smaller and
Yeah.
intimate stadium.
I forgot about that.
Because that's going to be the problem with the Cotton Bowl is that, like I said, you may get
old.
You may get it's old, and they have redone it because the Red River rivalry
Sure.
is still there, and so they've
Well, I
they've
wouldn't-
put money in there because they were threatening to move Texas OU to AT&T, and the Cotton Bowl and State Fair were like, no, we'll
do
find some
whatever.
money,
We'll
we'll
do
find
whatever.
some money, we'll find some money to.
Well, I would imagine their plan though. So because if the Cotton Bowl gave them a great deal where they can get it dirt cheap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine their plan is, hey, let's try to sustain, play maybe play 2 seasons, maybe 3 out of it, and get something built. I would imagine. Now where they're going to go, I
I don't know where you're going to build in Dallas.
Right.
They're going to have to go outside of Dallas because there's just nothing you can build.
Yeah, and that's where the Chicharito part makes sense, right? Get some money, the marketing piece, get butts in seats, try to recoup.
Yeah, and even jersey sales, right? I mean,
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of that.
You're going to get, I mean, how many? He is probably one of the most popular Mexican players of the last decade plus, right? So I think that there's a big appetite from our Mexican fan base that's here in North Dallas. And, Garland, Irving,
Sure.
Dallas. You have a very Latino population in that city.
It's very big.
And so, and that will draw, and maybe that is how they go about it. Is they're maybe going to market more to the
I think
Latin
it makes
population.
sense for a marketing aspect to bring him on. Do
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for the growth of the game there and your team? I don't know.
But marketing is
The marketing's
growth,
yeah.
and now you got Atletico Dallas on the girls' side. They're trying to make a push to get into I think they're GA right now. They're trying to make a push to maybe get into ECNL. You know, so on the boys' side, you know, they're trying to. I would imagine they're probably trying to get MLS next type status, things like that. So.
Anybody can go to MLS next as long as you got money to pay for it,
exactly.
So
I mean, that's a conversation for a different day, right?
That's another one. Another
but I do think that is very similar. Well, and I think not similar, but different to what FC Dallas has is where I think that they're going to get kids in there, right?
Sure.
And I think that's where they started with the grassroots, and then they built a club.
Well, you know what's crazy is, I mean, they practice up here in Frisco.
Yeah.
Atletico Dallas. Other youth system, like they're over at our school.
Because it used to be Renegades.
Yeah, it was the Renegades.
Which is, I think, a McKinney Frisco club.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, and then Atletico, they just went from Renegades to Atletico Dallas, I think this past season.
Yeah, and now they're taking over MoneyGram, which gives them another place to train and not have to go.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be really interesting. We've talked about Chupacabras. I think we're getting close to 3,000 people at all their games.
Yeah, Chupacabras, and they're building some more stuff over there in McKinney as well.
They just started.
They play in McKinney?
They play in McKinney. They play at the old Ron Poe Stadium.
Ron Poe, yeah.
Shout out, that's where I cut my teeth as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay. The Poe.
Had a lot of playoff games.
Maybe I'll take you through a dive over there, Hector.
We do need to take you over there.
Yeah, it's pretty
We have
cool.
a lot of things we can show you over the next couple of days.
But Tups, you know, they've partnered with Tups, which has been brilliant from
smart.
the Chupacabras.
Yep.
Because they do like jersey unveils, they do watch parties. Tups has started a 5v5 league on the brewery property. They built a little
stadium,
a little
field,
where they're going to do but league play like 4 or 5 nights a week. So they are growing, and I think when you sign up, you get like a free Chupacabras ticket or something like that.
The marketing from the Chupacabras has been fantastic. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
People are being creative because I think they're seeing, and we're talking about the growth of the game, right?
Well, this market.
Could you imagine 10 years ago?
This market is different, though. Dallas is just. You're talking about just a true soccer hotbed.
Yeah.
This is one of the probably top 3, top 5, just true soccer crazy cities in the country.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I get it.
But I mean, you know, you think about 10 years ago, you had Fort Worth Vaqueros, and then Dent Diablos came around, and now both of those teams you don't hear as much about them, right? Now you have Texoma up in Sherman.
Yeah.
You have the Chupacabras. You have
the
Atletico
Salina,
Dallas.
the Rodeo.
So I mean, you're adding all these, and that just goes to show where the game has gone in the past 10 years, even in a soccer crazy hotbed that is DFW.
Yeah.
And you know, Dallas Trinity's coming up. Can we get an NWSL team? We need an NWSL team here in Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, and that would drive.
You think
growth.
it happens?
I don't see how you.
The way Houston has done with Houston Dash, I don't see why FC Dallas is not pushing for that more.
I've kind of been shocked by it. But Trinity would make sense, though.
Trinity would make sense to be that team to do it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. If we have a Chupacabras here, I feel like since I'm in Frisco, I'm inclined to create my own club, the Cucuys.
The Cucuys.
I think you should.
You should.
Shout out to my peeps at Frisco Wakeland.
They're not far from here.
I know.
Right across the tollway.
Yeah, we're down the road from them.
Also known as El Cucuy. But yeah. So yeah, that is awesome. That is really awesome. It's one of those moments where I wish, you know, there's definitely if I lived here, it'd be a little different. It'd be pretty awesome. But
maybe we get you up here. This is a great place to live. Just telling you.
Everyone keeps laughing. It's like, hey, I started in El Paso, and I keep going east and east and east. So
just bring you a little more north.
That's the joke.
That's it.
That's the joke. Now I'm in New Braunfels, but so we transitioned to our last piece here. So we talked about it a little bit with the men's coming up. All we know is Phoenix, October 3rd.
Yep.
We know they'll be playing 3 other matches, right?
Peru, Chile, and Colombia. Those are the other 3 that are playing.
Chile. Okay.
It was Chile.
It was Chile. Okay, so interesting slate there. We just don't know when yet, but that'll be a combination of September, October in that 19-day window.
We also got Spain and U.S. women's.
Yeah, that's the one I kind of want to talk a little bit more. 1 versus 2 in the world. It's a friendly, but it's not really.
It's not a friendly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this.
DC and Philly, you said?
DC and Philly. You know, you see this a lot on the women's side where they play 2 games against the same opponent.
Yeah.
which I don't really know how I feel about.
They just did that with Brazil.
They do it a
Yes.
lot. Yeah, I see it a lot more with.
But I think the
Sunday.
first game is really the ones versus the ones usually. I
Right.
think.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious. Like, how do they tackle this?
Yeah, and I'm sure that's a conversation between coaches, right?
You think they coordinate that? You think
Well, I think that when they set it up,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, we could play one game, we could play two. If we play two, what does the two look like, right?
Yeah.
Are we going, ones versus ones? Because I don't think it does either team good if one team plays their starters and the other team plays their
Right,
backups,
right,
right?
right.
So I do think it's like, when we set up scrimmages, like I usually talk to the coach and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
are we playing this? How are we going to play
Straight
this?
up, yeah.
Are we playing this straight up? Are we going to go half and half? Are we going to kind of see how the game goes and maybe we get our back, so
I did that with a regular season game.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
The last district game that we had with Liberty, Evan and I, talked before the game like, hey, it might be smart if we don't roll with our ones the whole time. Why don't we play the first half
Yeah.
and just let's play it, and
Well,
then
I
from
told
there
you-
we'll go everybody else.
Did I tell you guys about my scrimmage format? How I do that?
No.
you do three periods?
I do 3 periods. So
Yeah.
three 20s, 5-minute break in between for varsity, and then end with penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it just depends if you want to do 5 or 10, if you want to break in more than one keeper, and more than one series of shooters. But it's how pretty much I play my scrimmages now.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Every coach,
Some referees get
the referees are the ones that actually love it the most.
really our referees. They're like, that's not the game, and I'm like, oh, well, it's.
Well, it's a
I said,
scrimmage.
well, UIL defines a scrimmage as practice, so.
Yeah. The only crap
know.
I've gotten from officials is that 3-hour limit with the JV.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the JV play a similar concept, but we just adjust the times a little bit. But that's been the only issue I've gotten. But we've never gone over 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
But no, I mean, I think it's a great test for the U.S. Spain, obviously, they don't seem to be slowing down. They are continuing to win. You have Clara Jordi for Barcelona. She's 19. Had to start for the best player in the world, Aitana Bonmati, and started perfectly for her for 4 months. And
insane,
Barcelona went and won La Liga. They won the Champions League without their best player, right?
Yeah.
You still have Putellas, who's probably going to make one last run at the World Cup. She just signed with London City. Salma Paraguayo just signed with Lyon, which
I saw a clip somewhere. They were talking about Salma. They're projecting her. I forgot who it was. I was going to send it to you, and I didn't save it. They're projecting her to be your Golden Boot or Golden Ball winner.
yeah.
So
She is there's a 400 or 300 meter hurdles runner, an Olympic champion. I forgot it's a U.S. girl or maybe a British girl, but she beat her in the Junior Olympics. She's that kind of athlete.
yeah, I know.
You have Vicky Lopez, who's going to make. She's a young player for Barcelona that's incredible.
Yeah.
Claudia Pina. I mean, these are kids that would walk into 99% of teams in the world that can't even get off of Barcelona's bench. And
Your
so-
ball knowledge right now is just astounding.
Yeah,
Just-
it is.
Oh, I love.
You want to talk about
I follow
On both sides. man.
both
That's awesome.
sides of
Both
those.
sides, yeah.
Is, I mean, I actually almost enjoy watching the women play more than the men sometimes. And so they just, to me, are more pure positional play,
They're-
Guardiola style.
They are more of the real wonder, even more so than the men's team.
Yes.
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
because of the dominance, the
Yeah.
true
Well, and how
dominance.
quickly
Yeah.
they got there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ona Batye is going to be still in her prime. Catacol. The center backs are kind of a question mark, right? Arin Paredes, Mapi Leon, they're kind of getting a little bit older. But you have Leilani Alessandri, who she just tore her ACL. She's coming back from that. That could help a lot. And then and not just the Barcelona core, but it does seem like that is where the majority of the players are playing right now. You have Mariona Caldente, who's playing for Arsenal. She led that team to a Champions League final win over.
Shout out!
Hey,
Shout out to Mercenary FC himself.
He,
Jealous as usual that he can't be here. So.
Well, doesn't he hate on DFW all
He
the time?
does hate on DFW. He's
And
only
then-
here for SMU camps,
Hey,
and he
he
doesn't
only-
even travel
Yeah,
up
I
to
mean,
see us.
He only missed about 6 episodes because of SMU camp. So I don't want to hear it. Anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
We tried to get you up here. You said no.
we're the ones that are just disappointed.
Yes.
So I mean, but then you have right? What is the nickname for the U.S. front three? I want to say it's something. It's something with coffee.
It is with coffee.
It's like the mocha something or the cafecito or something like that. Mallory Swanson.
Sophia
Trinity.
and Trinity.
Trinity, you know, so you have that three, and I
think this is a different. The women now, this U.S. women, this is in a while the first time I'm excited to see them because they're kind of in Emma Hayes' image.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're hungry, man. They're very
and
different.
she is a
very
dog.
different. Yeah.
She
Emma
is
Hayes.
a dog of a coach.
She is incredible. You know, when she got appointed, she has if y'all haven't watched it, she has a little video on the Coach's Voice, which I would really recommend you going and watching.
Yep.
She's incredible. She's also done a couple podcasts. So she coached college here in the U.S. I don't know if you knew that before
know that.
she went.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that.
So she talks about taking the job and how she loves the culture here. Right? She cut her teeth as a college coach.
Right.
Then she goes over to there, but the way that she breaks the game down. And the U.S. did a really good job with hiring. She is a home run hire,
Absolutely.
especially after Vlatko, who I thought was terrible.
That's
right?
a really bad.
But that front three for the U.S., and I got some flack for saying this after the last Olympics, they remind me, and obviously not to the same level, but that Barcelona MSN team, front three, right?
No, yeah.
The way
that's actually what I was thinking. That acronym. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
And not, you know, obviously Messi, Neymar, Suarez at their prime. Like, I don't know that anybody can ever touch that. But what made that front three special was that they were all elite, but they didn't care who scored. They just wanted one of the three to score. And I feel like that's the same thing with this U.S. front three, where you have three.
This is Trinity's time.
Yes, you have the leader, but everyone else is just as good,
Yeah.
and they're all willing to play for each other. And you have three world-class forwards who are willing. And we've seen Real Madrid is a great example.
And you finally had Mallory back.
Yeah.
Mallory, what is she
Yeah.
now? Swanson,
Swanson.
right? Yeah.
Dansby's wife.
I still call her.
It used to be
Mallory Pugh.
Mallory
I still call
Pugh,
her
but it's
Pugh.
Mallory Swanson. And so, you know, it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be a test of the U.S.'s ability to dominate a game.
Brian says you're just making up names now. So yeah, no, great stuff. So those are, what are the dates on that again? I meant to look
The
them
6th
up.
and the 10th.
The 6th and the 10th. It's
October,
going to be
right? October.
blockbusters,
It is October.
man.
It is going to be great. Yeah.
Blockbusters. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I want to see how the U.S. handles a team that's probably going to dominate the ball. I believe the last time they played was in the She Believes Cup. I think that it was.
Well, and that's why I was asking you. I was kind of curious, like, how do the coaches handle? It's different. You're talking about 1 versus 2, and you know, both of these teams are going to have a huge say in Brazil next summer. Right?
Yeah.
So how do they handle 2 matches in 4 days? What, 4 days?
I would
5 days?
imagine
Yeah,
that the first one is straight up ones versus ones. The second one maybe is there will probably be some changes.
That's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday-Saturday format. Tuesday-Saturday.
So, but yeah, mark your calendars because that's
It's a good one.
Yeah.
and that is though. I think the best thing about both those teams is they show you how far the women's game has come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you watch.
With the coaching too. The
Yes.
coaching as well. Yeah.
I mean, I've said it. If you watch the Spain women play versus the Spain men, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Just one team has ponytails and the other one doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Like so, it's incredible, and I think it's awesome to watch. So.
Yeah. I think we're going to be in store for. I wish one of those was down here in Texas, but
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, but it is what it is. DC and Philly. So October 6th and 10th, right? We said. So the reigning world champions, Spain women's national team versus the U.S. women's national team. So make sure you check it out. Who's going to be carrying that? Is that going to be ESPN?
It's got to be
has to be.
either them or TBS
Yeah,
Check it out.
has been doing those.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see
I
what.
think, I think they're still under
what-
contract.
if
so.
Carly Lloyd is still hating on all the Spanish players.
She's gonna hate on everybody.
Man, she's been hating on Lamine Yamal all
Yeah.
freaking summer. I'm like, you do know.
Was she bashing Yemel? I don't think I
Yeah,
ever.
she was.
She
at the end of it.
said he hasn't done anything in his career.
in his
yet.
career. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't win a Euro. He didn't single-handedly pull Barcelona to the Champions League semifinal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's obviously an incredible talent and one of the best players for the U.S. of all time. But I thought that was an example of U.S. commentators not really following the game at the world level.
Sure.
And then commenting on it, during the World Cup.
Yeah.
And so that was my problem with it. It was like
Well, she definitely doesn't hold back, regardless.
No.
If she has an opinion, she's going to share it.
And I appreciate it, right? Say it with your chest, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to go out and say it, and
Yeah.
she's been on Twitter going back and forth with random people, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, if you have an opinion, freaking stand by it. I think you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
But
Yeah.
go ahead.
I guess I didn't catch that. I didn't hear her.
Yeah, it was right after the World Cup. She was talking.
I mean, I get it. He didn't have.
He didn't have a great World
He didn't have
Cup.
a great World Cup, but we knew that coming in. He wasn't 100%. We knew that going in. So, but that just also speaks to the greatness of Spain. So.
What did he just say?
What's that?
What did Brian just say?
What? Did he come in again? Oh. Oh, of course. It's more Carly Lloyd stuff. Carly Lloyd hates Aaron.
Well, yeah,
Blocked her on social
she
media
hates me
because
for sure.
We don't need that kind of negativity. So, yeah. So, but as we start to wrap up here again, this is episode 22 of the Red, White, and Crew podcast, coming to you live from In Fuego Tobacco Shop here in Frisco, Texas, at the Frisco Square. Again, make sure you can like, rate, subscribe. If you're watching this live on YouTube, go on there, hit the like button. This keeps us active in the algorithms, and subscribe. We got a lot of people that listen to our podcast, and they're not subscribers. They think they are, but they never are. And they say, "Hey, I missed the show. How can I catch up?" If you hit that you subscribe and hit that live bell notification, you'll make sure you don't miss a single episode, since everything we do is live. And all our imperfections, everything, just in case you saw the circus that was the start of our show today, right? We own it all, right?
Yep.
So technically, and whenever we're live, you're going to have some technical issues from time to time. It's inevitable. It's happened to me at the Tasco convention as well. But we don't apologize for it. We embrace it. So thank you for being with us. So, but yeah, you owe it to yourself. If you joined us late, go watch about the first 3 minutes of this episode, because it was a circus for sure.
We got a busy afternoon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, getting ready to go cover some TST.
Which is actually kicking off right now.
Yeah, I know.
One of my
How
teams
far
is
away?
kicking
How
off.
far is it? How
It's
far
like
away
30 minutes, depending on traffic.
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes to go 5 miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely it.
Yeah, I forgot I'm in Dallas.
Yep.
So, yeah, so final thoughts, boys. Let's wrap up. We'll start with Elias. So we'll give you the last word.
Yeah, I think that the World Cup has shown that there's a huge appetite for the sport.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of conversations going on. It feels like, you see more and more now. They talk about, even with all the stuff with FIFA going on and Donald Trump and whatever, all press is good press right now, right? We're talking about the game. Everyone's talking about the game right now.
Yeah.
And so I think that, everyone wants another U.S. game like right now. So
I know.
So I'm excited. Club season's about to get going. We're about to start to get in start to see preseason friendlies, see how these teams shape up and get ready for the next cycle. And I think it just also, the one thing this World Cup has really done for me is I'm excited for my own season now, even more so than normal.
Yeah.
Right? Like I just feel reinvigorated. Like, this is why I do this, because this game is freaking awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it, man. I love it. So for me, I would say, actually, you know what? I had a question for both of you before I dive into my last piece. How are you guys feeling? School's almost back, so yeah, I know that's not necessarily the greatest thing for teachers to hear, but from the perspective of us getting closer into our preseasons to train with our boys and our girls squads, how do you guys feel about that? Getting closer back to getting into the groove of things. Still got a very, very many months before our actual season, but preseason, how do you guys feel about that?
Feel good. I think we're coming off a year where we built some really good things, and now we can kind of continue to refine some of those things, and I think that for the kids as well, I think the kids are excited for soccer. They spent the whole summer watching.
Yeah.
I think that it kind of gives these kids. You got to think about the kids that we're coaching right now. The last World Cup they watched was in the middle of a school year, in the middle of a school day, and they didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, it's true.
And so now they spend a whole summer where that's all they watch, and you got to think about the last one that they really got to watch was in 2018. They were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
So now I think that this is really just continue to. I think it's going to make our kids even more excited to play and train.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Good. How about you?
Yeah, no, I've seen you see a growth. We talk about every 4 years when we have a World Cup, we always have that growth in numbers and how who's participating and what new athletes are wanting to try soccer for the first time. So we're gonna have that growth. I think for me, we're coming off a season that was the most historic season we've ever had. I mean, even in our young, how long we've been around, but we had a really big growth this past year, and I think the exciting part for me is where everyone expects to see a fall off because of who we lost and the kind of players that we lost. But there's some certain aspects to our game that I think we're better at now, even with some of the new young guys. So we get to see it. We're about to head up to this TST. We get to watch our teams compete a little bit and play. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get started. It's not one of those, I got to go back. I get to go back, and I get to be a part of what our school does and why Frisco Emerson is so amazing in and of itself and the way we do things. And so I'm excited, man. We've got a good group. It's going to be another good year.
Awesome. Yeah, same here. I'm very excited. We have a young group this year. We got a lot of talent coming in, a lot of younger talent, eager, excited to see where it goes, what it develops into, and but yeah, excited in year 2 at Canyon and new districts, realignment, right?
Yep.
And but yeah, it's a tough district, but a good one. And I think that if the knucklehead coach there can just get everybody on the same page,
figure it out.
I think we might surprise some people this year, hopefully. So knock on wood. But yeah, excited for sure. Just the fact that we get to do this, don't have to, that we get to do it. Excited for that. So my final thoughts before we pass it over to Aaron is big thing is just really first and foremost, thank you, a big, huge thank you to In Fuego Tobacco Shop for hosting us, for allowing us to be here, allowing us to give this live episode. Big thanks to you guys also for being here. Really appreciate it, and for hosting me, making the trip up here just for a couple of days, as well as Justin out at Melissa for the Melissa TST, which is where we'll be headed next. So a couple of busy days, but busy is a good thing. Labor of love, that's why we love it. And I think nothing shows more as to how passionate we are about this. I was talking with Aaron yesterday, thinking that maybe this would go for hour 20, hour 30 minutes. And here we are, well over, in Joe Rogan territory, we've gone over 2 hours. And just great conversation the whole time. Hit on a lot of great stuff today. So thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And to all of our listeners and supporters, thank you again. Go on X, follow us there at Red White Crew Pod, or as well as on Instagram at Red White Crew Pod, or as well as the 50/50 podcast on X at 50_50 pod, or on Instagram at 50_50 podcast. So, Aaron, all you, man. Take us home.
No, I'll tell you what, again, yes, thank you to Infuego for hooking this up. My dad, one of the workers here, being here the whole time, setting us up, getting us on the TV over here. We can see what we got. We got our stuff in the background. I think this was kind of went better than we even expected it to go.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
I mean, the guys in here are great too, accommodating. So super appreciative to them.
Small technical issues. Luckily, I had another set of eyes. I'll catch the audio.
That's right. So, yeah, I mean, if you are a 50/50 podcast, like alum or somebody who watches, stay tuned. We're about to head up there right now and try to get set up, and maybe you can catch some of the games tonight. We got the last group stage games are going right now, and we're going to move into the knockout rounds tonight with the quarters, semis, and finals tomorrow. So a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff ahead. I'm excited to show you around, too.
Yeah, man. Excited for sure. So thank you for all of our listeners, all our supporters, everybody listening today. Make sure, big thing is share as we continue to grow this particular podcast. This is our 22nd episode, right? 22 episodes in 49 days. We did 21 episodes in 42 days. So that's jobbing it, man. That's doing it a lot, considering, we don't get paid for this. So, but we love it. It's a labor of love. We're passionate about it, and just excited to grow something. And I'm excited to have selected a great crew to be part of this podcast team. So make sure you share this podcast with somebody, share this episode with somebody, and go on there and tell them to subscribe. So for Coach Aaron Wesner and Elias Ramos, I am your host, Coach Hector Cano. You know what to do. Until the next time, keep downloading and keep listening.